Well, well, well. I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you what Crimson Desert was. A bill of goods, misleading marketing, a game that was not going to be anything close to what was advertised, particularly on console. And now the game is in the wild. And I was right. I tried to warn everybody. I got attacked. I got called a hater. I got called every name in the book for trying to warn consumers, for trying to tell people that we have been here before, that these red flags add up, that these red flags are signs of worry and concern. Telling people to not pre-order the game was never hate. It was my attempt to make sure people knew what was going on. So I'm just going to kind of walk through the history. We're going to talk about where the game is currently sitting on Steam, as well as how it's sitting on the other platforms. Even some of the reviews that are a little suspicious on Xbox, given when they actually landed. Now, if you like this content, actually, hang on a second before we get into the meat of this here. If you like this content and you've been following me, a ton of new people have subscribed and have been watching the content this week, because this has been kind of a big week for us because of my coverage. It was a little polarizing and it caused a lot of drama. This is what we do. I keep it safe for work. I'm not cursing and swearing throughout the stream, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can be here every day. We also do extra content when we hit certain goals, and we have a members-only Discord, and that is made possible by you. I do this full-time, not because we're some big, huge channel, but because we are fan-funded. So if you want to help us with the goal, consider becoming a member. For $5 a month, you get a badge, you get emotes, and you get access to my members-only Discord. We're trying to get to 600 paying members. We're currently at like 540, so we're inching closer and closer every day. Thank you so much, everybody who has done that. Also, remember to hit the like button. So let's buckle in for a little history lesson. The very first trailer that I saw of this game, I immediately had concerns about performance. I told people that NPC density, combined with the graphical fidelity that they were showing us, was a little too good to be true. It seemed like something that was going to be near impossible to pull off on a console. Then they started putting their marketing on the PlayStation channel that amassed over 30 minutes of views in total, 3 different videos amassing over 3 million worth of views, and I found it to be incredibly misleading. It was all footage captured on PC, where the visuals had been cranked, the lighting, the texture detail, everything, and performance was flawless, and I thought that was misleading. We also got misleading answers from the head of PR, Will Powers, saying that they would, quote, reveal things ahead of launch so that people could pre-order. They did not reveal things. They did not show console footage in a good way, and they did not certainly show it with ample time for people to pre-order. It was like a day or two before, and it was only on the Japanese PlayStation channel, and it was 1080 quality, 30 FPS videos that was very difficult, and it was clear, whether you want to blame it on compression or not, that the game was going to look significantly downgraded on console compared to PC. Will Powers also told people to use their brain, saying that the game was going to run on a 1060 and that it would run on a ROG Ally. And I pointed out that that doesn't mean anything with respect to console performance, and I'm curious how all those people with ROG Allies and 1060s feel now, given we saw it running on a Steam Deck at like 15 to 20 frames on the lowest settings. I was blocked by Will Powers for basically asking for console footage, base console footage, and I was critical of the marketing of this game. Then that obviously incited tons of people to attack me and call me a hater and brigade my channel and come into the comments and say all sorts of horrible things to me on Twitter. Now, let's fast forward a little bit as well in the marketing. They had their preview event, and of course, everybody comes back from the preview event with glowing praise, playing the game on PC. Undoubtedly, many of them might have even been playing vertical slices. It's really hard to know. Fighting Cowboy did the due diligence to ask about console footage at the preview event, and what he was told was absurd in light of what has happened. He was told that we wouldn't believe them, and that they would be sending the game to Digital Foundry. They did not send the game to Digital Foundry. They showed up with the PlayStation 5 Pro, and the game was pre installed. Then the video that Digital Foundry made, I think, is one of the strangest videos I've ever seen. I also find it strange that John Linneman was defending this game, saying that there aren't lots of large crowds that you run into, and the frames don't drop in those large crowds, and yet the evidence is overwhelming that that's exactly what happens in the game, and that there are lots of large crowds. And the first town that you get to, the one that both Digital Foundry and the Japanese PlayStation channel continued to not show, the performance in that town is horrible. And that's not the only place. I've seen plenty of other clips of people getting in fights in large crowds, and performance is bad. Now, many people have responded to all of this and said, well, turn off VSync or turn off the 120 hertz mode. It doesn't really change anything. The game looks and runs poorly on console. Some are responding and saying, well, I'm not having any dips or problems on console. Yes, we always run into this when there's clear technical analysis of games that are having performance issues. We always have the not me Andes that have to jump on every post and say, well, I'm not having any problems. Also, people are saying that they're having a perfectly fine time in quality mode. Listen, that's perfectly fine if you're okay with 30 FPS in 2026, but the rest of us aren't. The vast majority of gamers don't want that. Even quality mode doesn't even look that impressive. The actual graphics themselves don't even seem to be that impressive. So that's the history. That is what has led to this moment. Dishonest, misleading marketing, dishonest, misleading answers, trying to obfuscate and hide things from the public, and touting and bragging about pre-order numbers. Now, in light of all this happening, if you actually look at how the game is doing, it is clearly not doing very well. Now, the PlayStation Store score from the users started out very strong. It was like a 96. Overnight, it dropped 14 points to an 82. It continues to drop. It will likely continue to drop, especially the further people get in the game, when you get into larger fights, larger areas, more complex battles, and that performance keeps tanking. Beyond that, Xbox has some very interesting review scores. It has a bunch of perfect 5-star reviews that were all made on the 17th, 2 entire days before the game was playable. Well, on Xbox, you can score a game that you have merely pre-ordered, so the score there is completely unreliable. Well, let's go to a score that we can actually look at and look at what people are doing and how long they're playing. Steam, the game currently has a 68%. Yes, a 68%. I thought the game was going to score much better on Steam because I thought, well, the people that buy it and keep it are going to have a really good time. Based on the reviews that we heard, Fighting Cowboy said that the game was close to perfect. Force Gaming loved it. I literally feel like we are living in a cursing, crashing multiverse where there are people playing a very different version of this game than the rest of us. It's like, what universe are you in? And you're crashing into our universe where our timeline is playing a very, very different game. So listen, in light of all of this, if you are having a good time, great. If you don't mind the performance issues, great. If you think the game is solid or solid enough, or let them cook, let them fix all of the issues after launch, listen, that's totally fine. The issue was never, is it a good game? Is it going to be a fun game? The issue was with the marketing. The issue was with intentionally misleading console owners and lying about the fact that, yes, you were hiding things. Yes, you were refusing to show base level console footage because you knew it would look nothing like your marketing, and you knew it would hurt those pre-order sales. This game is not even remotely close to what was promised with respect to the visuals and performance on console. And stop saying that consoles should expect something like this. We are 6 years into the gen, and this is when devs are supposed to get better at optimization, not worse. History shows us consistently games getting bigger and better the further into the gen you go. And we already have games that prove this notion to be ridiculous. Assassin's Creed Shadows, Horizon Forbidden West, Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, all of those games destroy this game visually on console, and they have significantly better performance. Just because you put lots of NPCs in your world and a really big map, it's not impressive if it makes the game look and run like the previous gen that we left behind 7 years ago. You're not innovating or having ambition. It's the opposite. I haven't seen a mechanic, a boss fight, or a combat sequence, or a narrative element that is original or new or fresh. It's borrowed from basically every open world game that we have ever seen. It's a bunch of mundane content in a huge world with lots of freedom. That's not the Second Coming. It's not the Game of the Year frontrunner. It's not this big, huge hit that we were promised. It's just another bill of goods. And the consumer reviews and the clear performance issues on console make that clear. Nothing I've said in my coverage and even in this opening monologue is hate. If you're okay with the company being misleading with their marketing to this degree, and you keep defending this, then I would say you represent everything in gaming that I don't agree with. Glossing over problems, defending developers who lie or mislead the public, shrugging at mediocrity or bad performance. I will never align with your viewpoint if that's how you view this situation. I expect excellence in games that promise it. I expect quality in products that are expensive. I expect honesty and transparency in a world full of deception and sleight of hand. If that makes me a hater, then so be it. But at least I'm not defending dishonest practices or bad products, because whatever that is not the type of gamer that I ever want to be. But those are just my thoughts, and now it's time to hear your thoughts, chat. What is going on? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Listen, I gotta cook a little bit on this because I was right. I was right. I tried to warn people. My legs are tired on these victory laps. I tried to tell people what was going on with this game. You could smell it from a mile away. It was obvious what they were doing. It was obvious they were trying to mislead people. And now if everybody wants to hand wave and be like, well, let them fix it or let them cook, what are you even talking about? The game is out and people paid full price for it. Like, what are we even talking about? The fact that the goalposts have shifted so many times, the goalposts have shifted into another universe. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be mind-blowing. Their engine's proprietary, and they've had breakthroughs. Then it turned into, well, you shouldn't expect good performance on console. It's going to be a bit of a downgrade. And now it's turned into, well, let them cook, let them fix the problems. It's actually not that bad. Jiminy Christmas. Jiminy Christmas. Thanks for your service. You saved me $100. You are welcome. You're in the same car. You're here, so leave. Donkey Sausage, who are you talking to? This guy says, because I don't pretend to live, some hotshot streamer trying to warn a mass audience of 50 viewers to avoid a game. Homie, that homie might want to check out my YouTube channel, brother. We've gotten like 100,000 views each day we've covered this week. I had like 2 days in a row with about 100,000 views on my channel. He's looking at my Twitch channel and thinks that's representative of what we've been doing. Okay. Goalposts moving so fast that they are red shifting. Did you run into issues on the console yesterday I wasn't able to watch? Yes. It does exactly what I said it was going to do. The town that Digital Foundry wouldn't show us, the town that the PlayStation Japanese YouTube channel wouldn't show us. Like, yeah, it's bad. Performance is all over the place. The frame rate drops into like the 30s and 40s. Imagine doing that. Imagine doing that in a fight. There are fights with way more people than that town. I've already seen footage on my timeline of people getting in fights. There's like 20 people on a bridge, and it's like the frame rate in those instances is going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. Birdman says, they cooking, it will be patched. Here, let's get the goal on the screen. Stealth Gaming started off the day, and then the first gifted member, Han shot first, and so did you. Thank you, Joker Quinn. Good to see you back. And then 3 months coming in from Birdman saying that they're cooking, it'll be patched. We're sitting at 409. If you guys want the Saturday night stream, we got to get to 500. Here's the real question. Can they fix this? Can mods fix this? Seeing so much of this guy says, I got over 60 FPS, 1440 native on PC, and I still don't think it looked good. The textures just don't look good. Refunded. That was the other thing that blew me away. My Twitter timeline is full of people talking about how gorgeous this game is, and I'm like, I swear, we are in a multiverse that is crashing. It's like you are in another timeline. glazing this game for its appearance. I'm like, this doesn't look that good. The textures are so inconsistent. As soon as I loaded in that one section on PlayStation, I'm like, well, the rocks look amazing, but then the grass was like out of focus and blurry. I booted it up on my console last night, and I was like, all right, Mama, I was asking my wife, I was like, Mama, what do you think? What do you think? And I'm running around town. And she's like, it looks out of focus. And it totally does. There were multiple times when I was in town, and it was like the characters around me, they looked out of focus. It was like, what is going on? It was like blurry. And it's like, and again, and that's, meanwhile, the frame rate's all over the place. I can't imagine acting like this is some triumph or some achievement. It looks bad and it runs bad. I don't understand what's going on with this game. It is so bizarre. Suede coming in with 36 months. That's a lot of months over there on Purple. Thank you, Suede, for using your Prime sub and a $5 super chat with Hidden Siryu. Says, we are now in the bargaining phase. Mods can fix it. They'll patch it. And a $5 super chat from Slick. Everyone was hyped for this game, but for me, seeing the graphics and particle effects only reminded me of Forspoken, which was hot garbage. PSA, everyone disable 120 Hz in VRR in your PS5 settings for Crimson Desert. The difference in clarity is staggering with those disabled. Okay, I was told that if I disabled that on my Pro, it would also fix all the performance issues. It didn't at all. The frame rate in the town, it's terrible. And people are like, well, you should keep going. What if it's only bad in that town? I left the town, and there was like a little area with like a cabin and like 10 people. And it did the same thing. It's like, I tried to warn people. I was like, it hurts to keep saying it. The first trailer was a red flag to me. The very first trailer we watched, I said, there's like 30 NPCs in the area. And the lighting and the shadows and the detail look insane. I was like, how are they going to do that? Oh, it's a proprietary engine. It's a proprietary engine. I was like, huh? What? So that means they're going to be able to do something like nobody else can do? I told you guys, if they made a breakthrough with their engine, they would have been bragging and boasting at the GDC. They'd have been like, dude, our engine is hitting new levels of graphical fidelity and NPC density. They would have been bragging. They wouldn't have been giving away the secret sauce, but they certainly would have been bragging about their engine. It's like if they're doing something that like nobody else is doing. RPG says, I've got a 5070 Ti running it at 1440 high settings, not impressed. Yeah, it looks fine. It's the most like fine open world game I've ever seen. It's like, yeah, you can boot up Assassin's Creed games on your PC right now and boost the settings, and they're going to largely look like this. On the S, it's shocking. Oh, I bet. Listen, if I want you to hear this, if you're here right now and you're having a good time and you don't care about this stuff, homie, have a ball. I'm not trying to tell you not to have fun. I said yesterday, it's a big, huge world. You have a feast of a game. If you can get over these problems, you could live in this game like an MMO for hundreds of hours, and I want you to go do that. I am not here to yuck your yum. I'm here to take a dadgum victory lap after being called a hater, and I kept saying, this company is being dishonest. They are misleading the public, and I was right. Give me my dadgum flowers. I got so much hate. So much hate. And it's like, all I'm trying to do is warn the public. We have been here before. It is called pattern recognition. When a company won't show you the game on console, when they get snarky, combative, and block you on Twitter, you're just mad you didn't get a copy, and you're just mad you got blocked. I don't give a frick about getting blocked on Twitter. Do you know who I am? Do you know my history? Half the gaming world has me blocked on Twitter. I don't care about some weird situation where a PR guy's like, I'm going to block this guy. Like, I don't care about that. That never mattered to me. Oh, you didn't get a review copy. What the heck would I have done with a review copy of this game? The same thing I'm doing now. In fact, I'm glad I didn't get a review copy because it enabled me to talk about the game every step of the way without any concern or worry about some kind of an embargo or an NDA. Say my name. That's right. Say my name. I freaking told you guys. Jiminy Christmas. I thought another thing came through. Sorry. Can this get patched on the PS5? Listen, I don't know, boys. This isn't like Dragon's Dogma. Hey, before we go back and forth, guys, do me a favor. We've been live for about 20 minutes. Really quickly, everybody go nuts on the like button. Right, you guys have been killer on that like button. We had like 1,000 likes on the stream yesterday when I played the game. Just go crazy, all right? And also check your resubs and your re-ups and your memberships. We're trying to hit that weekly goal. Okay, so when Dragon's Dogma 2 discovered that, like, oh, our NPCs are all thinking, and, you know, that was the problem when you went to town. I don't know if that's what's happening with this game. You deserve the victory laps, Lono. Thank you so much. Listen, if I helped you save some money on this game, you know, show some appreciation. Get the chat activity going. Get that like count going. All those things help me, okay? I saved a lot of people $70. By the way, I got my refund on Xbox. Oh, side note, I had people giving me grief about that. I had people giving me grief about the fact that I didn't play it on Xbox. I had been streaming for 10 and a half hours. I was not going to sit here until 11 o'clock at night to see virtually identical performance on my Series X to my PS5. I wasn't going to do that. I felt bad. I know we told people we were going to show off the Xbox Series X. It's not my fault that Xbox is terrible and they throttle your speeds. Both my base PS5 and my PS5 Pro downloaded the gigantic patch just fine and fast on my really fast fiber. I had the Xbox on the fiber, I was pausing and unpausing it, and I couldn't get it to download at reasonable speeds. I wasn't going to sit here for 3 hours to basically do the same thing, go to town and be like, oh, surprise, surprise, the game runs bad when you get to town and there's lots of NPCs. We're all shocked. Like, I wasn't going to do that. Why peeps are acting like $70 is a lot? $70 is a lot to people, homie. Are you kidding me? Some people literally scrimp and save so that they can have this leisure activity we call gaming. If you're blessed in your life and $70 is nothing to you, then get on your knees and thank the Lord that you live a life that privileged. Some people, $70 is a lot of money. $70 is a lot of money for people, man. That's like half of some people's grocery bill. That's like putting gas in the tank twice. What are you talking about? This is exactly why I said times are tough right now. If somebody's going to drop $70 on this game and then they can't get the money back because they were misled, I take great issue with that. I take great issue with that. Oh yeah, $70 is not a lot of money. It's a lot of money to people. Are you kidding me? Anyways, I got some people to thank. I'm wound up. DK Bager with a gifted, thank you so much. And then 54 months from Chris. Thank you so much, Chris, for that many months. He says, double it. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. And we got some people over here on Twitch as well. C squared 3000 with 36 months says, happy partner anniversary. Yes, that's actually true. Like 11 years ago, I got partnered on Twitch. There's like 4 years missing because liars gotta lie. But a $5 super chat from the deceased band says, I'm on PC and loving the game, runs great, but can admit that the game was certainly made for PC and a cash grab on console. Well, I appreciate your honesty and your $5 super chat. I don't think this is an easy patch is what I was trying to get at, boys. I just don't think so. I don't think it's an easy patch. It's like, it is, they built an MMO single-player game, is what it is. It's a single-player MMO. It is enormous. Fixing these issues is not going to be simple. It isn't. I just don't see a way where they wave the magic wand. I had so many people just holding on to hopium in my comments like, oh, but there's another patch. There's another patch. Brothers, there is never a day one patch that is that transformative. There are day one patches that fix like bugs and glitches and significant snags. I don't think I've ever downloaded a day one patch that has been completely transformative to a game of this size. You know what I mean? Is this you who doesn't know how to play RE9? I know how to play RE9. I beat it and had a lot of fun. I got stuck in a section where I was failing to hit parries. Congratulations. Cope harder. Cope from the sidelines harder. This guy's bad at games. Yeah, you know what? I've never claimed to be a professional gamer. Do you know what else? You know what else I don't claim? I don't claim to have great gameplay. I don't. These guys claim to have an excellent game, and you seem to be okay with that. Truth in advertising. I have the honesty to say I'm a casual dad gamer. I'm not a very good gamer in a lot of games. I'll make mistakes. I get kind of boneheaded and get kind of stubborn. You know what I'm doing? Being honest. That's something Pearl Abyss didn't do in the lead up to their game. You don't seem to have any problem with that at all. You're like, oh yeah, it's totally fine that they misled the public because this YouTuber's bad at video games. What the frick kind of pathetic, insecure, boyish copium is that? Because I'm bad at video games or struggle with video games because I don't play perfectly, that makes this okay? Difference between me and you is I'm honest. Casual dad gamer, homie. Playing Power World every night with my wife. I think I'm winning at life while you're buying games that were a bill of goods. Jiminy Christmas. Did you see the Steam numbers and the Steam reviews? Yeah, it's terrible. Like a 68%. It's like a 68%. This was supposed to be the second coming. Hey, can you guys hear me? Where are all the people that said, oh yeah, Eastern developers are kicking the crap out of Western developers? Really? You think? Is this another example of that? We were told that this was it. This was the second coming. This was Game of the Year frontrunner. Eastern developers are going to continue to deliver greatness. We'll just slide this out of frame, just like Lost Soul aside, and be like, yeah, we don't want to count that one. A $5 super chat from Dryad Sons says, a lot of Steam reviews are disingenuous 12 minutes to an hour play, and people gave it 1 star. Okay. This is my favorite. Reviews count until they don't. Reviews count until they don't. So the Metacritic score is always celebrated when like it's a Game of the Year frontrunner until it's not, and then everyone's like, this is a journalist problem. Journalists are bad at games. Journalists are bad at games. So that's why the review score is low. Really? I mean, Metacritic scores are really, really high. Really, really high for Elden Ring and Sekiro and lots of other really challenging games. It doesn't seem to be a problem for those games. That's weird. And then when the Steam scores hit, it's always, people always want to contort themselves to be like, well, they didn't play long enough. They're just being haters. Really? So you think there's an organized effort and thousands upon thousands of people bought this game on Steam and gave it a negative review, but they're not going to refund it. They're not going to refund it. Because, listen, if you refund your game, you don't count in the score. So the crazy thing to me is that you're trying to discount, like, you think that many people did this? Like, that many people were like, what, had it in for this game? It's like any game that comes out lately, we've got to contort ourselves into some narrative to make excuses. Chuck Norris couldn't even make this game good. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the news. It looks like Chuck Norris passed away at the age of 86. That's a sad day. Pour one out for the man himself, Chuck Norris. Hopefully there's some good Chuck Norris jokes today to put a smile on our face so his infamy can live on. It gets good after 30 hours, guys. Just spend over a day playing something that you don't like, and then it gets good. Well, that's what I talked about yesterday. And if you guys haven't done so already, man, huge turnout today. Make sure and hit the like button. Give us as many likes as we can get. Let's try to get to 400 likes right now. A $5 super chat from Strife. He says, if Pearl Abyss had been more transparent about the difference between PC and console, would your opinions on the matter be different? I mean, if they literally showed gameplay on console and they were honest, you know what they would have done? They would have delayed the game on console. Nobody in their right mind would have been like, oh yeah, we think this is worth selling on console running like this. It's got all kinds of problems. On the base PS5, everything was blurry and the textures like were out of focus. And then performance was terrible. People were like, oh, performance looks great. And I told people, I said, this opening area is really small, y'all. Don't get ahead of yourselves. And then we got to the town and it was awful. And I'm like, you would not sell the game in this state. And a 5-bomb comes in from Hidden Siryu. Thank you so much, Hidden Siryu. Hidden Siryu's been in my corner this whole time. So they wouldn't have sold it. If they would have been honest and shown this game in its current state on console, you know what they would have said? We're not going to sell this on console. We're going to sell it on PC, and we're going to try and have a console version ready for you guys. I would have respected that. It still would have a bad score on PC. There's clearly issues. Number one, reviews on PC are based on a variety of things. Some of it's performance issues, some of it's bugs and glitches, some of it's conflicts with different things, and then there are people that are like, this game kind of sucks. I mean, I saw somebody on Twitter and they're like, I really don't understand why people are glazing this game. It is so mediocre and bland. And then like Jess Capricorn, which I love her, I think she's hysterical, she replied and she's like, I thought I was going crazy. Like, I thought I was going crazy too. I was like, what is going on? What timeline are people in? They're talking about this game like it's amazing. Can you address the astroturfing bot problem? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I mean, there are reviews on Xbox that don't make sense because they're praising the game and giving it 5 stars, and they posted their review on the 17th. The game wasn't even playable then. They're making AstroTurf bots like they did for Expedition 33. Expedition 33 didn't get AstroTurfing bots. Expedition 33 has an amazing score from the users across all platforms. You can't make bots at that scale, brother. Are you kidding me? Like, some little French studio somehow managed to do that? Come on. Stop. $2 from Frank Last. I think you missed my gift. It didn't get added. I apologize for that, Frank. I see it. A single gifted from Frank gets us to 419. Boys, what's going on that like count? There's 900 people here. Make sure it's saving your likes. Some of us Zoomers are addicted to slop, unfortunately. They're buying out creators and making bots to stamp out criticism. Listen. I trust Force Gaming and I trust Fighting Cowboy. I think if you've got a good PC and you can get some momentum in this game, you can have a heck of a time, because they clearly did. I don't think either of those gentlemen have any need to like make things up. I just think it's really hard to get to that point. You've got to overlook performance issues on console, pretty glaring performance issues, and it's rough around the edges. People are taking issues with the controls. People are taking issues with like certain things just aren't clear. Detective C says, I'm personally enjoying it, but I'm definitely leaving room for those who are not, as it has issues, but it's my type of quest and exploration game. Right. There are people that are like, they have no reason to lie. Like, Seeds didn't get a copy. Seeds was warning people on Twitter that like, hey, there will not be console reviews out there. He has no reason to like lie. Like, neither does Force Gaming or Fighting Cowboy. These guys have such large channels, they could have been like, yeah, I don't think this game is very good, and they would be fine. If they don't get to work with Pearl Abyss again, their careers would be okay. So I don't think the reviewers were like, I don't know. It's like the people were trying to act like the YouTubers were more legitimate than the journalists. I mean, Luke Stevens is getting, flambéed on Twitter for what he said. I mean, people are pulling all kind of receipts on him. Like, he apparently said the opening area of Horizon Forbidden West, where you're on the original map, lasted 10 hours in his review. Like, some guy pulled a clip from that, and he was like, you're sitting here talking about journalists not taking time with games, and it's like, and you got this so glaringly wrong about Horizon Forbidden West. He's like, the opening area is like 10 minutes. Kobe Webster, thank you so much for a member renewal. We're 5 away from the next milestone. I trust Destructoid. I feel like Destructoid liked it well enough, but like, people try to do this dividing line thing where they were like, oh, but the YouTubers are more trustworthy than the journalists. I mean, I'm looking at the Steam scores and I'm going, I don't know what the heck y'all think's going on here, but this does not look like a triumph to me. It does not look like a triumph to me at all. How they thought this would review well at Pearl Abyss, I don't get it. Well, let me explain what happened. Because I think I have a theory and a hunch about what happened. I think they had a game that they had spent quite a bit of time in building the groundwork for in the world. And I think they came to the conclusion that they didn't have the money or the confidence to do another MMO. Right? I think they were like, yeah, this isn't going to work. So what we can do is we can pivot this into like a single player game. And if you follow the marketing and you follow how they talked about it, I kept trying to tell people, I'm like, something doesn't smell right. I'm getting Mind's Eye vibes. I'm getting The Day Before vibes. I'm getting like Bill of Goods vibes. Like something is off here. Right? They did set out to build an MMO. They've said that. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm theorizing that when they made that decision, I think it was a money issue. It was like, we aren't going to make enough money and we don't have enough money to build this. So I think what they did was they tried to shoehorn all those systems, all those ideas and the world into a single player game. It's why some of the systems are so half-baked. It's why the world is big for the sake of being big. I also want you to consider something. If this was an MMO, I bet you performance would be better. You want to know why? Because the other regions and areas and stuff, they would load you into a server and much of that stuff that's going on in the town wouldn't be processed by your CPU. It would be handled by the server. Do you get where I'm going with this? It's like they tried to take an MMO, turn it into a single player game, and it was like trying to shove an elephant into a garage, like a one-car garage. It's like, this isn't going to work. Because you would load into an area and like server instancing and the way that they handle these types of things in MMOs, like a lot of this stuff would be handled by the server. So like you'd go to a town and performance would probably be fine if the 50-something NPCs were walking around and being processed by like a dedicated server and not your console. So I think they tried to shove all this into like a game, and it's like, this isn't going to work. You've got too many NPCs in an area. If they would have shown me that footage and told me it was an MMO back in the day, I'd have been like, oh yeah, that's totally believable. It's an MMO. They'll run all that stuff server side. It won't have to run on my computer necessarily or run on my console necessarily. Thank you so much, Mike, for renewing his membership and getting us to 421. Steam reviews in Germany are mostly positive. Is it different in the U.S.? What are you talking? Crimson Desert Steam. Let's pull it up. All right, so it's a 68%. Now, if I go in here, let me click on it. So this is just my set. So it's moved to a 70. So it's moving in a good direction. All right, it is improving. It was like 50 something. If I remove my language, so this is the world basically, right? This is the world. 18,000 reviews. It drops back down to 58%. So it's improving, right? It's improving in my language. It went from like a 50-something% to a 70. That's obviously a good sign. Maybe some of the early patches, maybe people are figuring out how to tweak things. And again, maybe the people refunding, maybe their scores are getting retabulated and they don't count. If you give the game a bad score or you give it a thumbs down on Steam and you refund the game, your score doesn't count. So within the first 24 hours, that score is going to do a little bit of whiplash because it's going to drop, but then everybody's refunds get processed, and then all those negative reviews don't count. Steam has spoken to this before. So you can't like review bomb on Steam. You can't like go buy the game, play for 5 minutes, refund it, and then give it a thumbs down. So within the last 12 hours, it went from 50-something% to 70 because I would not be surprised if the refunds are getting processed by Steam and then all those scores are getting basically removed from the total. I told people yesterday before the game went live, I said, I think it'll have a better score on Steam than the critics because I think the people that buy it and stick with it are going to like it, and that's going to make the score go up. Slowly but surely, the score will likely go up on PC because all the people refunding, their scores won't count, and the only people playing and only people keeping it, their scores are going to drag it up. I still don't know if it's going to have an amazing score on Steam anytime soon. Like, I wouldn't be throwing confetti in the air for a 70%. That's just America, by the way. The Globe is giving it like a 58. That's a bad score. That's a bad score, boys. Why are you a hater? I'm merely stating facts. I'm putting numbers and facts on the screen. If that's hate to you, I mean, I don't know. You're insecure and insensitive, I guess. I go see if Sesame Street streaming. Loch Ness with a 10 bomb. Thank you so much, and gets us to 431. Thank you so much. That explains the marathon rating. Well, yeah, the marathon rating got purified by the server slam. A bunch of people played it in the server slam that didn't like it, and then they didn't buy it. So the only people that bought it is like you purified the results. That doesn't mean that the review score is not legitimate. The marathon review score is legitimate, but it's been purified. Like you got all of the people out that weren't going to like it. If marathon was free to play, I don't think the score would be where it is, because I think you'd have way more people in there being like, yeah, this is no good. Now, obviously, you could claim people are review bombing, but come on. Are you still going to play it? No. I'm not going to play it. I'm not. I warned people that this game wasn't going to perform well on console. It doesn't. Guy's talking, saying he's speaking facts, but hasn't played the game yet. I have a video on my channel playing last night. It's got like 50,000 views. Right here. 53,000 views. This is me playing last night. Playing. When you're done lying, I don't know, maybe go see if you can get a refund on whatever console you bought it on, because you're clearly not playing. You're in here talking nonsense. Reforged trying not to hate Marathon, challenge impossible. I didn't hate on Marathon. I said the score was legitimate. It's so interesting. You guys are using hate the same way people use woke. You call every opinion and thing that you don't agree with hate. It is so insecure. It's got to be some of the most, like, embarrassing behavior I see from adult men. Let's hate. Ugh. You sound like a baby. Like, I wasn't hating on Marathon. You sound like a little baby. Oh, somebody said something I don't agree with, and that's hate. Jiminy Christmas. Find some college with a safe space where nobody will say anything that upsets you, because you ain't going to get along here well at all. If strongly worded opinions or stating facts is hate, you're in the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? You need to find a soft room where no one's allowed to say anything offensive. G-money Christmas. New Crimson Desert tweet. No, go easy on the children. They cannot do any better than this. See Discord? It has one thing going for it. At least it has more players than Marathon. They've been taught that. Anyone who disagrees with them must hate them. That's what I'm saying, man. Some of you guys have been so coddled and so, like, ego-stroked by, I don't know, like, flimsy college professors? Like, parents that spoiled you? I just stated facts about Marathon. I said the Marathon score is legitimate, but they clearly purified it by having a server slam, and everybody that didn't like it didn't buy it. So then your score is much better. If there would have been no server slam, then a bunch of people would have bought Marathon, especially on PlayStation, and they wouldn't have been able to refund it. And I guarantee you, the score would have dropped. Wolf owes you an apology? Who the frick is Wolf? What are you even talking about? What kind of blow does this do to the credibility of Digital Foundry glazing this game? Listen, I'm here to tell you, if I was Digital Foundry, I would take the gloves all the way off. Because we have no idea what John Linneman played. John Lennon played on a PlayStation 5 Pro where the game was pre-installed, and he said he didn't have any major issues with frame rate except for those two situations. Now, he didn't really show lots of big fights, and he claimed that that wasn't something that really happened. A $5 super chat with Joker Quinn. Lots of seething, malding, and cope today. They hate when you're right, Lono. This guy says, don't care if you don't like the game. I ain't tender about just saying, brother, that's hate. No, it's not. You understand that being critical of something isn't hate. That's why you come across like a sensitive, like, college freshman who can't be disagreed with without crying. Like, being critical of something isn't hate. You're misusing the word. Do you know what hate is? Have you ever seen hate? You've lived a pretty sheltered life if you think that me being critical of Marathon or Crimson Desert is hate. You've lived a very safe, what are you, like in a gated community or something? Like, if you think me being critical of Marathon and Crimson Desert is hate, you haven't seen hate if you think that's hate. You guys are overusing the term. Mr. Negative says, even the pro version has issues. It's better with distance, but it's blurry. MTO with a member plus. Let me add it to the total. A $5 super chat from Strife. Off topic, but now that Crimson Desert is out, what games are you looking forward to on the horizon? Personally, I'm ready for Light No Fire. Saros, Control Resonant, Phantom Blade Zero, Wolverine, Amskin with 20 months of Member Plus. Saved me $75 yesterday. Thank you. And a Member Plus from Mac Attack. Guys, thanks for those memberships. Listen, if I saved you money, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Consider becoming a member. If I saved you $70, that's enough for a membership for the whole dadgum year here. I'm not crying. I don't care if you don't like the game. Well, see, now you're talking like an adult. If you don't care that I don't like the game, which is funny, I actually like Marathon. I just don't like the PvP. I actually like a lot about it and have even made a video about how they could improve it. But I'm not hating the game. You use the word hate. It's like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Like, I'm not hating. Especially Marathon. It was like, I wasn't hating. I was just commenting because somebody talked about the review score. Brandon comes in with a sub. No. Brandon gifts a sub over there on Purple. Thank you so much. Hang on a second. Somebody says here, my theory is they installed a vertical slice or a beta code for Digital Foundry. If they had given them a code directly, it would be obvious on launch. The entitlement wasn't the same as the product release. That's what I'm saying. I'm here to tell you. I have to flag this email. I need to look at it later. If I was Digital Foundry, I would take the gloves off. I would expose this game for what it is. I would expose this game for what it is. I would take the gloves all the way off. I feel like they got tricked. Like, if I was John Linneman, I would be pissed right now. Can you check the ratings on PlayStation 5? It only shows 1,000 ratings for me, which seems low. Yeah, the Crimson Desert PlayStation. The PlayStation score is weird because, like, it keeps changing for me. Like, it'll drop, and then it'll show me the old one, and then it'll drop. It's continuing to drop on PlayStation, by the way. This was at, like, a 4.6 last night. It was really high, and now it's at a 4.1. It just continues to drop. Only 1,000 rating, 1.6. So when it had, like, 900 ratings, dude, it was like so high, and then just getting 700 more ratings. Look how much it's dropped. It dropped from like almost a perfect score. Like the first 900, it was so weird. I was like, 900 people are already giving this a perfect score. Like what? It had been like an hour, and then overnight it just, and it only has 700 more reviews overnight. Like that's really weird. I don't know what's going on. John knew it has issues. He says in the video that the issues are understandable. Right, but John got on Twitter and Blue Sky and was defending it and saying, we have the screenshots, don't we, of him saying that it doesn't do that and you're hardly ever in big fights like that. And I'm like, John, what version did you play? That's everywhere in the trailers. I've got clips on my timeline already of big, huge fights and the visuals are tanking. The performance is tanking. I lost respect for Digital Foundry for allowing this to happen. Showing up at your house with a game installed on console should have been the biggest red flag ever for them. Well, but the difficulty there was they knew it was a hyper-relevant video. They knew that people were looking for console footage, and even though it was just the Pro, it got a ton of views for them. Like, that's a tough call to make. When you're like, listen, we can't strong-arm the developer. If this is what they're willing to give us, let's make a video. There's a chance that John was given a rigged build. A guy from Pearl Abyss flew in from Korea with the PS5 Pro. I know. I told people that was very suspicious. I'm like, and I told people, I was like, John Linneman's video doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. In light of everything we've seen up to now, his video is so bizarre. It's like, I don't know where you were. I don't know what region you were in, but you get in almost no big fights. There's a fight with some bots. There's like 6 or 7 of them. And there's a fight with like 3 guys. And then there's a fight with like 4 guys. But then none of the big fortress fights, none of the big castle fights, none of the big boss fights. I'm like, what game did you play? This is one of the primary things they kept showing. I agree with Lono. They made a reasonable choice. And they need to correct it now with more info. That's what I'm saying. If I was Digital Foundry, I'd be looking at these scores. I'd be looking at the response. I'd be looking at performance on console. I would take the gloves all the way off and be like, we need to expose this game for what it is. It's running nowhere near acceptable levels. It looks nothing like the marketing. It's a different product. It plays that poorly, in my opinion, that it's a different product. Now, there are people playing on console, and they're like, I'm having a great time at quality mode. Yo, I am Melee with 51 months, thank you. If you can stomach quality mode, I actually think the quality mode, I don't see anybody complaining about that. It just maintains 30. Now, we saw quality mode in the PlayStation Japanese channel when they were on the Dragon, and we saw performance issues even in quality mode. So buyer beware, the further you get in the game, even quality mode might fall apart. Because initially, my timeline is full of people saying, I'm playing on quality mode and I'm having a great time. And it's like, okay, great. What's going to happen when all those particle effects come in? Are you going to have to turn that off too? Like lots of people are tweaking settings and trying to get it to run as good as possible. You might have to turn the particle stuff off. Because in the early game, you don't have any of that. And especially like you get the dragon, you get into bigger areas, you get into bigger fights. Even quality might struggle. Yeah, balanced might struggle as well the further you get into the game. I mean it, man. Buyer beware. This game they've been so misleading from day one. I wouldn't judge the game by like, oh, it's running fine in quality and balance mode in the first hour or so. And it's like, yeah, well, keep playing. Because it doesn't seem like it's going to hold up. If the PlayStation 5 Pro in a town can't maintain 60, I would be worried about some of the bigger areas. There are some castles and some vistas that we've seen that are larger than the first area that you're in. If you're okay with a 30 FPS mode, I support your choice, but most of us can't tolerate it. Yeah, it looks so bad. Madam, my wife, does not do this. She doesn't watch Digital Foundry videos. She only knows what FPS stands for because I told her, okay? She's not in this world. And I showed it to her last night, and she was like, it almost feels like it's hurting my eyes. She's like, it's too bright. She's like, the colors don't look right. She's like, and it looks like it looks like it's jitter. Like, she didn't say jittering. She's like, and it looks like it's like shaking. She's like, it feels like it's hurting my eyes. And I told her, I was like, it's because it doesn't look very good. Like, and then I booted up Yote, and I showed her Yote. I was like, what do you think about this? And I just spun the camera, and it was like night and day. And people were like, well, you can't expect that from this game. You can't expect that. You can't compare it to Yote. What do you want me to do? I'm going to compare it to the Pinnacle. I think he knew. John Linneman said, this is why I do think the 40 FPS mode is going to be the way to go here, as it's extremely stable. Was only able to drop it at all like once or twice. The extra image quality and stability rules. I can't do the balance mode. I think it looks bad too. It looks stuttery to me. Guys, thanks so much for commenting and chatting on both platforms. They released a video detailing the Pro experience yesterday. I know, it was just a tech analysis though. I've said that the colors are terrible. They don't look good. Yeah, it's weird. Like, there are times where, like the red and the blues, I don't know. It's odd. It's really, really odd. It's like they're too bright or something. Like, the grays and the browns look fine. The greens are hit or miss. But as soon as, like, a red shows up, you're like, what is happening? Like, why is that so bright? Downgrade our game for a good time. Motion blur is an abomination to video games. A $2 super chat from Edom. Thank you so much. Digital Foundry misled the public. Digital Foundry didn't mislead the public. Digital Foundry did a PlayStation 5 Pro video. Digital Foundry was honest about the strangeness with which they got the copy. Now, I personally think this is a light criticism. I respect the boys over here, but this is a light criticism. I feel like they should have said that in the video. I feel like that should have been in the video. Bro, I feel like you need to hear this. You aren't a genius or special for being able to point out that this wasn't what it was made out to be. It was obvious to anyone lost in the sauce. I've never claimed to be a genius. You seem to be insulted by my candor. Like, if I'm insulting to your intelligence by the way that I speak, that seems like you're insecure. That seems like your problem, not mine. I've never once claimed to be a genius. I was attacked, blocked by the head of their PR. I was called a grifter, a hate baiter, a rage baiter. I was called all these things for trying to warn people about the game. So yeah, forgive me for maybe taking a little bit of a strut around the lap of victory to be like, I stinking told people this game was going to be like this. I had long-standing members that were holding out hope until the last minute last night, and they were appreciative of me showing the dadgum game. Zangief friend with a 78 says, I bought this PS5 Collector's Edition just because I have a PS5 Pro. I'm enjoying it immensely on my 5090 now. Here is the change. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. This guy says, so Paul said, why glaze them over all these issues? The PS5 VRR window is 48 hertz. Anything going under that's an issue and has been pointed out for many other games that Digital Foundry has looked at. This did not come across good in my opinion. It feels more like happy to get access first. Let's not say too much. John says, it was also very clearly pointed out. What are you talking about? Furthermore, the area with dips is nowhere... hang on. He says, the area with dips is nowhere near the starting point of the game. You are allowed to go anywhere. It was the heaviest area I could find in over 30 hours of play. What the frickin'... What game did John play? In 30 hours, that was the heaviest area he could find? What game did John Linneman play? Like, I've already seen clips from people that have gotten in bigger fights than he recorded. I've already seen clips in the opening hours of the game being playable by the public. I've already seen clips of bigger fights with more enemies than what John Linneman recorded. What the heck version of the game did he play? Remember I asked you yesterday about the Series S. I played for an hour and I refunded. I've never refunded until last night. I'm sure it's a great game, but not for the Series S. I'm glad you got your refund. I got my refund as well on Xbox. I canceled the download because people were upset I didn't show Xbox. And I was like, brothers, I wasn't going to sit here for 3 hours and wait for the patch. It was taking an absurd amount of time on Xbox. It downloaded faster on my PlayStations. I don't know what to tell you. That happens all the time. Whenever I go to update my daughter's Fortnite on the Xbox. Like, every single time we go to update Fortnite, I have to babysit it and pause and unpause it. Pause and unpause it. I mean, that's a lie. What's a lie, Yanadid? John said his video did no gameplay. He just went from one end of the map to the other. Weird choice. Well, John was trying to do tech analysis. If I would have been in the room with him, I'd have been like, John, look for big groups and start fights. Because he does it in the one town and the performance is terrible. But it's like, no, do it when it matters, not when you don't care. Like, go into a fortress and fight and try to survive. It will likely be difficult because the frame rate's going to be terrible. Lono, that cancel Xbox and refund idea came from Damien. He deserves the credit for that insight. Thank you to Damien for that. I got my $75 back. That was a clutch pull because I wasn't going to sit here for that a long time. John saying he found the heaviest area he could in 30 hours. Right, Yanadid. What if he's telling the truth? What if he's telling the truth? Here's what we need to wait for. If John Linneman boots up the retail version of this game and spends a bunch of time in it, he very likely could make a video and be like, whatever I played for that first video wasn't the launch version of the game. I'm not saying he's going to say that. I'm saying there's a possibility that he could come back and say, hey, this is not what I played. In 30 hours, I'm like, how in 30 hours did you not run into any of the big groups to fight? The game was out for maybe 2 to 3 hours last night. I had clips in my timeline of big fights. There were like 20 people on a bridge. I'm like, I don't know what version John played. They brought a PlayStation 5 Pro to his house with the game pre-installed. I need to repeat that so many times. There's so many people that don't know that. There's so many people that don't know that. They're like, well, he played it on PlayStation 5 Pro. He uploaded another video. Yes, it was just more capture from the same version. He didn't get like a second chance, brother. They brought a PlayStation 5 Pro to his house. We don't know what version he played. I've never seen Lono get up from his chair that fast once he heard that you should stop the download and could refund it. Did someone clip that? Yeah, I didn't want to waste a second. I really didn't. It's not even about the money. It's a business expense either way to me. Like, I'm obviously going to spend $75 on a different game at some point in the near future. It wasn't about the money. It was about, I wanted there to be another data point of refund on that game's record. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. That's right. It wasn't about the money. It's like, no, you're not getting another dime from me. You are not getting another dime from me. This is ridiculous. What do you make of all the reviewers glazing it on YouTube? Luke Stevens, Game Ranks, Fighting Cowboy. I trust them. I think if you have a good PC and you can get through the rough edges of the game, I think they had a good time. I don't think that they're lying. I don't think Fighting Cowboy and Force Gaming are lying. I think they enjoyed the game. I think you've got to put a lot of work to get there. I think that's why the score is so polarizing. There are people talking about like this is like the greatest game they've ever played, and other people are giving it a low score. Collide says, question. It's an engine problem. They need to fix the shaders and compressions. That's not a question. You're just stating something. I don't know if that's the problems. The guy who brought him the PS5 Pro just sat in John's kitchen and ate boxed mac and cheese while John ran his benchmarks. It was a little odd. They have powerhouse PCs. Yeah, I mean, I think they sold an idealized version of the game. They're on PC. That's why their reviews are so good. Fighting Cowboy also called Dragon's Dogma 2 a masterpiece. Did he play it in an environment where he didn't encounter all the problems? Because that would change his opinion of the game. Would it not? Do you see what I'm saying? I'm having a good time with it, but you definitely got to get past its flaws. Hopefully they fix it. Could that be the problem, though? Collide, I don't know. I've already speculated that the problem is they were building an MMO and they tried to turn it into a single-player game. I think that causes all the problems. So I was talking about this earlier. In an MMO, you go to a town and performance can get a little choppy, but the NPCs and all the stuff that they're doing is being handled server side. That's not happening in this game. That all now has to run on your console. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's why the minute you go to town or the minute there's 20 enemies that you have to fight, the game's like, it's like, oh gosh, this is heavy. Because in an MMO, a lot of those things wouldn't be having to run on your system. That would give your system some headroom. Like, think of when you go and play MMOs right now. There are enemies all over the place, and the games run fine. It's not like you're playing other games right now. Like, you go to play an MMO like, Final Fantasy or Elder Scrolls Online or something, and like the minute you're in a town or there's lots of enemies, the game's like, you're like, oh gosh, I can't see or do anything. Because it doesn't run on your rig. It's not running on your console. They took an MMO and they tried to turn it into a single-player game. That's why, like, size of the world and the number of NPCs, that's not impressive to me. I'm like, what do I care if the game runs poorly? A good, honest review of what the game actually is by Neon Knight timestamped his summary. He says it's the worst game he's ever enjoyed. All right, hang on a second. Somebody was quoting Neon Knight a lot yesterday over there on Twitch. Oh, shoot. Hang on, I'll refresh it.
An early preview posted, but still, I think it's worth noting that this game really does eat up a lot of your time on content that has nothing to it. Content where you are doing the same exact thing or a slight variation of it over and over and over again. You know, a few weeks ago, I gotta bring this up, there was an early preview posted about Crimson Desert that I saw, and it was awkwardly translated from Korean to English. And because of that, one of the quotes from the translated preview said that Crimson Desert was a game for content lovers. And at the time, I thought that was funny. Content lovers. Do any of you fellow gamers love content? However, as I've played Crimson Desert, I actually think that's a great description of this game. Because genuinely, who I would recommend this game to is someone who really just wants a huge, huge time sink. If you think this world visually looks amazing, which it does, and you just want a game that you can put tons of hours into, but knowing full well and accepting that this is a game that will give you tons to do, but most of it will be very repetitive and simple, and that most of the time this game will be feeding you content and quests that consist of talk to one NPC, do thing you've done 100 times already, talk to NPC again for quest completion. If that sounds good and you're on board with that for the occasional really good boss fight or solid side quest that you'll come across sometimes, then yeah, give this game a try. If that sounds fun to you, you'll probably be happy with it.
That right there is because it's a single-player MMO. Like, he just described exactly why this game's no good. Somebody said if we get to 750 members, I have to buy the game again. Yeah, but I mean, I'd buy it on Steam and probably just refund it. Yeah, guys, by the way, that is the stretch goal. So if you guys get this to 500, Madam and I will stream tomorrow night. She'll react to gaming news. It'll be probably pretty hysterical for her to react to this, since she was the one that pointed out how there's always wind in the game. But if you guys can hit the stretch goal of 750, I'm going to buy it on PC and have Madam play it, which will probably be hilarious. You guys have got a ways to go. You're going to need some of the big boys to save you, or everybody band together and do, singles and 5 bombs or something. There's a lot of people here. It could happen. 940 people. Listen, if you're watching on YouTube, just hit the like button, right? That'll help us. That'll get this stream really cooking. Let's get to 500 likes. Why has this video been suggested to me? I actually enjoy the game without being a bee. Well, then why are you here? If you're enjoying the game, go play it. I don't know why you're in my stream. It sounds like you're making really bad decisions with your life. Like, do you commonly waste your time? You know what I'm saying? Do you just spend an hour binge watching like Barbie Dreamhouse build videos and you hate Barbie? Like, what in the world are you doing here? I tried to cook this green woman her fish stew, and then it said I had 0 of 3 fish stew cooked. Here's the thing. If you watch my gameplay, even within the first hour of just playing, we encountered a bunch of strange things. Sometimes you go up to an NPC. Hang on one second. I was thinking about this. Sometimes if you go up to an NPC, you go up to the NPC, and it will have you hit square to interact with them, right? And then other times you can't get close to them. It won't let you get close to them. And you have to hold left bumper and then hit square. It's really weird. Again, it's like they made this game to be an MMO and then they brought it over to be a single player game, and in doing that, it's creating this really weird, even the interactions with the NPCs aren't consistent. It's so sometimes you just walk up to the NPC and you just hit square. Other times you can't get close to them and you're like, what's going on? Oh, this time I have to hit left bumper and then square. That doesn't make an ounce of sense. The reason I think that's happening is I think you have 2 overlaid systems. I think you have a single player game and how you interact with NPCs. And then I think you have an overlaid oh, this is how it works in an MMO. This is how we would have done it in an MMO. and then the camera swings in the opposite direction. The L1 is because they are an important NPC like a shopkeep or a quest giver. Square is just for everyone. It's still weird. No, I was doing a quest that wasn't making me hit L1. The first thing they have you do is they have you talk to the one guy. After you're done talking to him, they have you talk to other people in the same area. And it's like they're all part of the quest. The chimney cleaning? The chimney cleaning, it wouldn't let me climb up on it. It wouldn't. He wouldn't climb. He would drop. He just kept like bumping off of it. The jump button wasn't working. Because you use the same button for different things, there are times where you'll go to pick something up and you'll jump. There are times where you go to jump and you won't jump. It was like not responding to me. I was laughing. I thought it was hysterical. Like I wasn't even getting frustrated. It was like I literally felt like I was fighting with the controls. Press L1 to bring up the reticle, aim at the casket, then press X to enter focus mode. R3 and square to place down flowers. Hold L2 and press R3 to pay respects. Is that that's got to be a meme. Will Powers needs to apologize to base console owners. I told you what they would do. They would get everybody's money, and then they would say, we're listening, we're aware of problems, we're trying to fix it. I told you what they would do. They're not going to apologize. It's a freaking playbook. It's a dishonest playbook. You market the game in a dishonest way. You get a bunch of people to buy it. And then they can't refund it. And then you say, oh, we're listening. We're going to fix the issues. Sloth with a $5 super chat says, biggest issue I have so far is constant crashes when pulling up the map. I'm enjoying the game, but the crash is hindering my experience. I had a weird glitch this morning. I was trying to test one of the settings that people said to mess with, and I went to pause it, and it pulled open the map, and I couldn't get out of the map. I couldn't get into the other menus. I had to back all the way out and go back in. This is not our first rodeo, says Zubair. No, this is not our first rodeo. They're following the playbook to a T. You maximize pre-orders, you lie, you don't let people see the game on console, and then when the game lands on console and isn't running well, they're going to be like, yeah, we're listening, sorry, we're aware of all the problems. Is that the same guy that called us entitled for wanting to see console footage? Yeah, he said they weren't hiding anything and that they would reveal things before so people could pre-order. I told you when he said that what he meant. I said he's probably talking about a spec sheet. They're going to drop a spec sheet and they're going to say, oh, that's revealing things. He also told somebody to use their brain. He said use their brain. The game runs on a 1060 and a ROG Ally. Of course it's going to run on the PS5. Really? Have you seen it running on a Steam Deck? You think it's going to run all that much better on a ROG Ally or a 1060? I can't wait to see footage of it running on a 1060. I mean, according to Will Powers, it'll run on a 1060, so it'll run just fine on a PlayStation 5, which is incredibly weird logic. At some level, it's dishonest. It's like, that's not how this works. How many people here have actually been to a rodeo? The spec sheet's comedy. I kept trying to tell people you could put anything on a spec sheet. You could say, oh yeah, this game will run on a TI-83 calculator. It doesn't matter. You can say anything. They announced 2 million copies sold. I'm sure they've sold a bunch of copies. The marketing was an absolute machine. Every time I turned around, there was marketing for this game. There was advertisements for this game. It looked like it was going to be amazing. If you only watch the trailers. Never mind just failing to mention that the game won't run on Intel GPUs. These people are scumbags. He never said run well. That's right. That's why I made the joke. I was like, I could run in a marathon. I'm not going to run well. I'm not going to get very far. I'm out of shape. You know? Hey, man, we're going to go run this marathon. We need another teammate. Yeah, I can run. I pre-order nothing and never will again, says Donkey Sausage. At least you can type boobs on a calculator. That's true. That's true. I mean, you can do that. Have you checked out the Steam user reviews? Yeah, they're bad. Even if you don't like Lono, he was right on this one. Oh, I mean, you have to understand something. A lot of the people that were coming in and hating, they don't care about whether or not I'm right. They don't care about whether or not the game is good. they are literally, there's a group of people that were like organized and coming in here and trying to stir things up. They didn't even care about the game. We know exactly who they are and what they plan. They literally came in with the intention of like trying to frustrate me and clip farm. Like that's what they do. So here's somebody with 7 hours. This is my first review. I just got done with my first play session, and I thought it was important to write down some thoughts because I don't think I've ever felt so conflicted about a game before. I will say, long and short, that I'm not really sure I could recommend this game to most people in its current state. It runs well, it looks amazing, but I think there are some glaring issues that really hamper playability. I want to be clear that if the devs can come in and change my gripes, I will happily change this review. I like the game. I'll probably play more of it. But if someone asked me, hey man, should I pick up Crimson Desert? I would tell them, not yet. Wait for patches that I hope are coming. Right? You have to understand something. Like, this is PC. This is where the game is supposed to be running the best. And even this guy's like, I can't recommend it right now. Perlibus, if you read this, if you're going to copy Dark Souls' method of R1, R2 attack presses, just copy the rest of the controls. What you've done here is insane. To put this review in perspective, one of my favorite games of all time is Dragon's Dogma. I also enjoyed Elex, which I only mentioned so you know I'm no stranger to jank, and I'm able to see through it and can even find it charming. First off, seriously, what are these controls? A is run, X is jump. That's fine, but X is also the button used to interact for doing things like picking stuff up. Oh, but also, you have to be looking dead on at the thing that you're trying to pick up, and even then sometimes the game literally will not put something in focus for you to pick up. Like, this is exactly the problem, and this comes back to one of the things I've been talking about. There is no way that this game was, like, privately tested to the extent of, like, these issues were discussed and talked about. It's like these issues came up in the preview event. How do you get all the way to the preview event and you have like basic control situations that are messed up? Oh, and you can't remap. Learn to use the controls. I've never seen so much effing whining about controls. Just adjust to it. Drew, what do you mean just adjust to it? Maximilian said he was worried about the controls. When people were talking about the preview event to him, he's like, well, have they done anything about the controls? And then a bunch of people came back. A bunch of people came back from the preview event and said the controls were janky and frustrating. I'm not going to give a bad review because of the controls. You can't remap them. All right, let's read the rest of his review, Drew. Since you're going to dismiss his entire review over one thing, you sound a little bit like a hypocrite. Like you won't review a game for bad controls, but you'll dismiss a guy's review because of controls. Combat also contains a lot of memorization of button combos in order to have your full arsenal going, which you're going to need to know because a lot of the reason you'll lose fights is because you're trying to button mash when you really need to be using some of the skills you have available. Genuinely baffling gameplay decisions. People have been really vocal about all the unskippable but fast-forwardable cutscenes, but there are some other weird things that I saw. Slot-based limited inventory system, sure I guess, but that doesn't really work when you litter the area with stuff to pick up for the ingredient-based systems like crafting, cooking, alchemy, none of which have at this point in my game a bag of their own where they don't clutter up your regular inventory. What do you do when your inventory is full? Well, you have to sell stuff to make room because there is no way to store anything yet. There is no stash, even though there is player housing. Dre Power with a member plus, let me add it to the total. I'm telling you, this game it's a master of none. It's a master of none. All of the systems, Nova Hands, thank you for 41 months over there on Purple. Asman said the controls are the worst part of the game. Oh, but some stuff you can't sell at all. There are goods in the games that cannot be sold unpackaged, so you have to package them. Then you can sell them. Otherwise, you can just drop them. Like, this sounds like tedium wrapped in bacon nightmare. Like, what in the world? You have a chest in your housing? You can't store anything in it, Drew. You're in here defending the game. You don't even understand how the game works. That was addressed in one of the reviews that we watched. The chest in your housing is there for things you missed when you were out in the world. Somebody said you literally can't even store stuff in it. The player lantern has an auto on-off system, but it only goes off on the day or night cycle. It does not turn itself on automatically with this setting when you enter a cave. Turning the lantern on or off requires opening a radial, going to the lantern, pressing A, and then selecting another radial option. Not as clunky as Dragon's Dogma, but still pretty clunky. I don't think this has ever been made clear, but in order to commit crimes like theft, even if no one's around, you have to wear the bandana. So make sure it's always taking up your slot inventory. It is not optional. You literally can't steal without it. Weirdo memory system that requires you to go into an area where the game tells you use your lantern to discover a memory by holding a button to shine on the particular area. Then press start when the memory is fully loaded to put on your memory helmet to watch it. This reads like a comedy. then press start when the memory is fully loaded to put on your memory helmet to watch it. I can't breathe. I can't. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I love that this man, this sweet dear man, took the time to write this. It's so good. Drew says the memory helmet is stupid. Oh gosh. I just love the process. I love the process. Listen to this. It says use your lantern to discover a memory by holding a button to shine at a particular area. Then press start when the memory is fully loaded to put on your memory helmet to watch it. This is so funny. This is great. You can hold A to follow NPCs, but not on horseback. NPCs will call out to you, hey, let's have a chat, leading you to think that they have something important to say, only for them to say generic NPC dialogue about how their baby finally called them Pa when you approach them. I love that. Hey, let's have a chat. And you're like, oh, they're going to have a quest for me. And they're like, my baby finally called me Pa. And you're like, okay. What? Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later. Oh, gosh. When you use the pickaxe, you don't auto pick up the mined ore. It just rolls downhill. And you better go grab it because when it's gone, it's gone. How do you grab it? Oh, as soon as the rock breaks, you have to hold X and hope the game puts the ore in focus for your character to grab. I want to see this gentleman play, like frustratingly, like running down a hill to like catch the rocks. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Oh gosh. Oh my word. There's just tons of stuff like this. Just really weird choices that make no sense and really put into perspective the importance of a coherent control scheme. Seriously, the game at a glance wants really badly to be Zelda or Elden Ring or Red Dead Redemption 2. It's really obvious from screenshots alone, but the controls just don't fit the vision. Movement tries to have weight like Red Dead Redemption 2, but wants you to do platforming sections where you battle with your character moving a little bit after you let go of the stick. Yeah, I did notice this. When I was just like walking around town. It was like there's weights to your character, so like it takes him a second to get going, and then like he kind of drifts when he's done walking. And it just doesn't really feel good. Like it does, especially if you're trying to go through, areas with, precise platforming and things like that. Like there's a weight to your character, and it leads to you feeling like you can't really be all that precise. Hidden Siri with a $5 super chat. Will Powers was right. I can't believe it. That's right. There's also a massive delay in combat. Oh yeah, the combat feels really weird. It feels good, but it's also kind of like floaty too. It's odd. Like there's an odd. The combat feels like it both has weight and punch, but it also feels like light and floaty. This guy says, "Cry more." You're the one seething in my comments. Why aren't you playing the game if it's so good? You know what I mean? You're mauling in my comments, telling me to shut my whore mouth. Who's crying? I'm reading a review and laughing. Seems like we're both having completely different days. You're angry. I'm having a good time. The combat wants to have weight like Elden Ring, but honestly, if it was swapped for Batman Mordor combat, I'm not sure I'd miss much and might actually find it to be an improvement. The game wants to do a lot at once, which is fine, but I think it needs to figure out the best way to do so much at once. It really pains me to make this my first review because I was hyped for this game, and I think it has so much potential. I'd love to see these gripes changed. This game looks fantastic, probably the best looking game I've ever seen. Okay, down here, he's on an RTX 4060, all right, and a Ryzen 7700. So, this guy says, keep your whore mouth open. Hey, you're not paying me enough to say that. That's rude. There's so much to enjoy here, but it's really weighed down by the game, making it so obtuse to do it. You'll be having a great time and then encounter one of these quirks, and they'll pull you out of the game. There was at least a couple of reviews that talked about this. Like, it's like death by 1,000 cuts. You know what I mean? It's death by 1,000 cuts. It's like you try to put in a long play session and these things just keep coming back up. Badge upgrade. Mikey Bot renews their membership, gets us to 439 and says, I know you are doing performance analysis, but did you get anywhere in the story? Was it good? Are you enjoying it, having fun? It performs too poorly. I'm not going to play it. I said I wouldn't play it if it ran that poorly. A $20 super chat from May Contain Bleach. I think you are correct. Do you think it can be salvaged? I didn't buy it, but I'm still disappointed. I wanted it to be good. If they're going to salvage this, it's not going to be quick. The problems are widespread. I mean, just this guy's Steam review that we've been reading is very comical, but it's also showing it's like a spider web of problems. It's like interacting with the world, rocks that you're mining, jumping, NPCs, combat. Let's not even talk about performance. Let's just talk about all the things this guy talked about that are like nagging issues in the game when you're just trying to play. These are widespread problems. You don't fix these with a patch or two. They're going to have to literally go in and rebuild some of these things or go in and tweak them. I'm telling you, this game switching from an MMO to a single-player game, it's literally going to make it, I think, virtually impossible to fix these problems quickly. I don't think you can fix these problems quickly. You'll be having, I already read that. So I would say if you haven't bought it yet and you're looking for a recommendation, play one of the games that clearly takes cues from, like Elden Ring, Red Dead Redemption 2, or Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, while these issues get ironed out. Once they get ironed out, this game will be phenomenal. I really think so. It's just not there yet. So this is a guy who played for 7 hours on Steam with a very solid rig. And this guy's got one. 13 hours. We had Defense Force people in chat already this morning claiming that a bunch of the reviews were like really, really short. Yeah, once again, liars gotta lie. That is just simply not true. We're 2 reviews in, and these guys have put in a lot of time. This guy says, update, I put in another 3 hours, and the game is pretty fun when you learn new skills and such, but the controls are still an issue, and so is the inventory management. They give you a chest, but I couldn't stash anything. They teach you to cook and gather, but you never have room to carry all the ingredients. This is a common thing that was coming up in the reviews. This is a common thing. That, like, you number one, they give you a chest, but you can't stash anything in it, which doesn't make an ounce of sense. It's there for you to lose stuff. So it's better for you to, I guess, just leave stuff on the ground and lose it so that it'll end up in your stash. And then they teach you to cook and gather, but you never have room for all the ingredients. Like, imagine a game that's like you need some wheat and you need some barley and you need some clover, and you go to get it all, and you literally don't have room for it. Seems like a hell of an oversight. That's what I'm saying. How do you do this? I watched Penguin bang his head, watch some random lass. She was bored, so chat was like saying boring dialogue was awful. I mean, given the size and scope of the game and what you can do, I'm okay with like the dialogue and the story being a little bland. That's not that big of a deal. On base PS5, it looks amazing. No, it doesn't. We streamed it. I streamed it last night on the base PS5. What are you talking about? It looked blurry and muddy, and the performance was terrible. If you play it on quality mode on the base PS5 and you're okay with 30 FPS, I mean, I guess, but goodness gracious. I finished the first chapter, but still, I found a lot of the mechanics and controls to be a lot of it more of a chore than something new and innovative, which is what it seems like they were trying to do. I've said this for a long, long time, okay? I've said this for a long, long time. One of the worst things to innovate on is controls. It's a huge pet peeve of mine when I boot up a game and they're like, we know that you're accustomed to this being sprint and this being jump and like 90% of the games out there, but we put jump on the stick and we put sprint on the bumper. And you're like, huh? Like, the thing to innovate on is not controls. Like, what? No, don't do that. Put it in a way so that, like, I can just play. Innovate on mechanics and innovate on gameplay and, you know, story. These are thought out and nuanced reviews. Yeah, negative reviews with multiple hours that are like, I can't recommend the game right now. Yeah. Guys, Chuck Norris passed away. Sal coming in with a gifted membership. Thank you so much. He's got us 10 away. 10 away from the next milestone of 450. We'll see if somebody decides to steal it. I currently owe Twitch 1 and YouTube 3. I tend to wait until I owe a 5-bomb. That's what I've been doing. Messing with controls to be different is dumb. It drives me nuts. Anytime I play a new game and I'm like, why do this? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You get a refund on PS5. I got a refund. Oh, you're asking somebody else. I got a refund on Xbox. It's literally MMO systems. Yes. It's an MMO that they turned into a single player game. It just doesn't, and that's why it doesn't work very well. All these systems are just, they're not built with that in mind. Like when you play like a single player game, like, you know, like a Red Dead Redemption or something, like all the systems and the NPCs in the world, it's all built around that singular experience. Think about it like this. I was thinking about this last night, and let me just show you the controls, and it dawned on me. Something dawned on me. This right here, the reason this looks like this is because this represents what a group would typically be doing in a fight. That's why this looks like this. Like, they're literally trying to jam the attacks, abilities, and responses and all this. They're trying to take what like 3 or 4 people would do in a fight, and they're trying to jam it into one person. That's why this looks like this, brothers. I think it's why. Hang on, my camera's not quite right. I've been looking up there. I'm not centered. There we go. This is why I think some of the bosses are not tuned properly. I think some of the bosses are tuned for like a group of people. If a group of people were to go in and fight some of these bosses, you have aggro split, you have cooldowns that you can use for yourself to like attack and do stuff like when you're not being aggroed or attacked. Like the boss fights as well as the combat system, I'm telling you, you can feel it. It's like this was never meant to be what this is. Should have had classes with distinct movesets like an MMO. Yes, play the game as a tank. Play the game as deeps. Play the game as a healer. Well, a healer wouldn't make much sense. I mean, I guess you could go for like survival elements, so you're healing yourself and stuff. But I'm telling you, it dawned on me last night. I was like, that's why that control scheme sheet that somebody made, that's why it looks so absurd. It's representing what typically multiple people would be doing in a fight. And then when you ask one person to do it, it's like, well, if you hit this button, you can do this, and this button does this, and you can do this, and this. And ACG said it felt like his mind and his hands were in couples therapy. He's like, what am I supposed to do? That's why people are getting like stalled out by it. That's why they're buffering. It's asking you to do too much and to remember too much. The people that like it even say it takes a long time to get to that point. Mini Black says, dude, WTF even is that chart? I don't know. It's multiple people. Let's keep reading some of these reviews. I never said I was refunding it or said that I wasn't going to keep playing, but my statement still stands that the controls are janky and this is the same controller. This is the same on controller, sorry. Riding on a mount shouldn't need constant button pressing. Yeah, like, they make control scheme decisions that... Vix Vapor says, happy partner anniversary. Thank you so much for 16 months, man. I appreciate it so much. We have been partnered on Purple for, like 11 years now. Why I wrote gifted one to Marvel. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Marvel over there on Purple. I appreciate that very, very much. Hang on one second. I'm just checking something. There we go. Perfect. This guy says, there also is not a dedicated button to open inventory, skills, or quest journal. All require you to open a single menu and then go to the menu that you want. There's just a lot of stuff that makes the game annoying at times. I can see it being fixed in patches, but as it stands, I'm leaving my review as is. Yo, Chrono, thank you for rating me over there on Purple. Bringing your homies over. I appreciate it very, very much. Happy partner anniversary. Thank you. I didn't even know it was my partner anniversary. They didn't email me or anything. I went to my chat this morning. I was like, what is this? Yo, my man Hilly coming in with 15 months, bumping the line to 443. And he says, what the absolute hell are these controls on mouse and keyboard? Want to talk to an NPC? You need to press multiple buttons. It doesn't matter if most modern games you just press E or F. This one wants to make it complicated. I refunded the game on Xbox, yes, because it was going to take 3 hours to download the patch. The patch downloaded just fine on my base PS5 and my PS5 Pro. What is this? Spam. Like a spam text. If you guys hit stretch goal, Madam has to play it tomorrow night. So y'all are going to have to put the bat signal out and get some of the big boys in here to drop some bombs, because you guys got about an hour and 45 minutes. Going to wait a few months for patches and sales, says Chrono. Yeah, it's a skill issue. Like, why would you iterate and innovate on interacting with NPCs? Like, what the frick? Anyway. Want to jump? Press multiple buttons for precise jumping instead of just having the character automatically climb the thing that we jump to. Do you think the game will get optimized for console? I have no idea. Hilly is spamming Farty Bomb over there on Twitch. That's what my son calls 50 bombs. Running, press a button twice for more speed instead of a single long press. I'm not having any graphical issues at the moment, but these controls have made it incredibly hard to enjoy, as everything else seems like a chore. Talking to NPCs should not be annoying. This guy put in 38 hours. Received product for free. So this person got the product for free and has put in a ton of time. I wish I liked this game. Truly I do. I love Breath of the Wild. I love fun open worlds. I love deep character action, but this ain't it. It ain't it. It's a jack of all trades, master of none. The story is bad. The characters are bland. Moving the character around doesn't feel great. The puzzles are obtuse in a not fun kind of way. The boss fights aren't great. The user interface is one of the worst I've ever seen in a AAA game. The inventory system is weirdly obtuse, and worst of all, it's tedious. The cool stuff you see from the trailers is way deep into the game, so don't expect mechs or jetpacks anytime soon. I think the combat is stylish as hell, though. I love the different wrestling moves you can do. I love the look of the open world, and exploring can be interesting. I can see this game clicking for a lot of people, but it did not for me. So, this guy's got 38 hours. This guy doesn't have any hours. Intel Arc GPU users beware. Error message. Graphic devices currently not supported. Congratulations. That's wonderful. Almost 4 hours. This game so miserably tries to be everything at once and fails to do anything at all. It wants to be Witcher, but the story is a string of poorly related scenes that sometimes are held together by quest markers. It wants to be Red Dead 2, but instead of nuanced cast of characters, your team is noble and proud wolf-themed people that are fighting a foul and ugly bear people. And you get separated from the team for many hours right after the prologue. It wants to be Breath of the Wild, but the puzzles are literal atrocities. The game wants to introduce you to so many different mechanics that hotkeys are a cryptic mess. Light mode, where your sword starts to flash with some kind of unexplained energy. It is used in puzzles, and it can blind enemies. For that to happen, you need to simultaneously press left mouse button and control to enter the mode. Hold left mouse button to stay in the mode, then press control to make the flash. Good luck to use this in combat, because if you press those buttons slightly not simultaneously, you just strike with the sword. I thought the same thing on controller. I thought that was one of the dumbest things I've ever done when they had me do the light mode for that first puzzle door. This is some of the most amateurish development I've ever interacted with. I'm like, I have played games by indie developers in small studios that kick the crap out of you guys. Like, who decided that this was good for controls? I was so confused. I was like, what do you want me to do? I was reading and rereading the instructions to be like, am I dumb? Like, what is going on here? I mean, I know I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb. It was so weird. Telekinesis 1, it's activated by holding tab and releases. Telekinesis 2, this is activated by pressing left mouse button and F. And ARD sign force push. This is activated by pressing the mouse wheel. Manually precise jumping, which needs you to hold control to aim and space to jump. I think there are more, but I didn't encounter them yet. Each and every action tends to have its separate hotkeys, often with individual ways to press those hotkeys. And good luck to change anything to your liking, because by default, the game has a couple of hotkeys shared between several non-interfering actions, but it's hard-coded to not allow duplicates if you are changing something manually. It means that if you want to change 1 to 2 hotkeys, it instantly grows into a puzzle where you try to whack-a-mole constant unbindings and end up with more hotkeys. The main character, John Crimson, is the main character, John Crimson, is a cardboard cutout. He acts like he has open skull brain damage. We saw how the door opened yesterday. We had no idea what you did. You had no idea what you did. Yeah, it was weird. He acts like he has open skull brain damage. And his personality has leaked out from the hole. In a story, he gets unheard powers. He meets a weird magical people, and he's told that he is the one to bring balance to the world, but I'm yet to see him react to any of this. Sal, did I thank you for the gifted member and add it to the total? Thank you, Sal. The story doesn't concern itself with why, how, and what next. You watch one cutscene, and then the quest marker tells you where to find the next one. Just for an example, a typical sequence. You should go into the tavern and look around. Okay, maybe there would be a hook. Look, there's an arm wrestling match. You should participate. It's not my character that decides to do this and narrates this decision. It's not an NPC that invites him to the match. It's a quest marker. Yeah, I thought that was so weird. Like, the first thing they had you do You just went and did an arm wrestling match. It didn't make an ounce of sense. I don't understand. Does anybody understand why narratively that's like one of the first things they have you do? Is this Doom content? Yes. Hopefully you're wearing your diaper. It's going to be very scary and harmful to your sense of value. The match occurs with some token dialogue exchange. No hook, like your opponent asks you to help him with bandits or knows the location of one of your missing friends. You just leave. You should go outside and check this random beggar, says the quest marker. And this is the main quest. It's so true. I was so bewildered. I'm like, why am I doing these things? It didn't make any sense. It was like, go to the tavern. And you go to the tavern and it's just a random arm wrestling match. And it's like, go outside and talk to the beggar. And you're like, okay. And you go outside and talk to the beggar. And he's like, oh, this world is full of pain. And you give him a coin. And you don't give him a coin. You hand him a whole bag to represent the giving of the coin. It's like they couldn't even be bothered to create like a separate animation. Like that's probably the animation anytime you pay somebody, is you just like hand them a bag. You give him a single coin. And you hand him like a grapefruit-sized bag. And I'm like, what are we, I thought we were giving him a coin. And then he gives you a key, and then he vanishes. What? It's so, I'm telling you, the game doesn't make any sense. It's like, how is this the beginning? You're arm wrestling to save the universe. What's not to get? Yeah. Stay a while and listen. The Herodric Cube will give you something to beat Diablo, and I'm going to give you this key. I don't know what the hell. Like, what? Why is this happening? The puzzles are straight torture. The visuals from the magic energy are so everywhere that it's often unclear, did you activate a thing, or it's just effects that are bouncing off the non-intractable one. Yeah, this right here, this whole thing that, like, journalists are dumb and they need their handheld. No, your mechanics and puzzles are straight stupid. They're stupid. Stop defending bad development because you figured it out. You think you're some kind of a true gamer, and then like the journalists are just too dumb. I've seen multiple people and multiple clips. No, the puzzles and the mechanics are just straight garbage. They're trash, bro. They're trash. Stop defending bad design with, well, I figured it out, so the journalists are just too stupid. Yeah, John Crimson is just as confused as we are. You can spend close to an hour trying to arrange elements in every combination, only to learn from a comment under a playthrough video, because it's not clear, even if you observe how a person does this right, that you needed to stand on a platform before you interact with the puzzle in any way. And throughout all of this, your eyes are aggressively attacked by bright visuals of the magic energy. I guess the puzzle torture took away my refund window, so I think I'll spend more time in the game. But I'm surely not expecting anything sold. Oh, he got a refund. So this person got a refund, and they hit almost 4 hours. Yeah. Whoo-wee. This guy, 12 hours. I don't even know where to start, but in short, it's not fun. It's just tedious. Story, I expected nothing and was still let down. Still crashing out? Homie, I'm cashing in. Try to keep up. If you are in a search of a story, all you get is a bunch of random fetch quests that would fit right into some cheap MMO. Yeah, that's because that's what they were building. None of it makes sense, and there's almost no connection between different parts of the story. Combat, the best part of the game if it wasn't for the weird controls, even with keyboard. I heard it's really bad with controller. That said, the combat is nothing to write home about, especially if you have played Black Desert in the past. Yes, there is impact, but it gets stale quickly. It does really, again, it feels like the combat is the combination of I'm swinging something with lots of weight, and yet I'm really floaty. Does that make sense? Cashing in on crashing out. Cool flex. See, what I think people like you do is you just have such a tiny view of the world that somebody getting amped and passionate, you can only call it crashing out. You don't have You don't have a vocabulary that extends beyond the world of like Reddit and Twitter. It's just a sad way to live. You know what I mean? It's just sad. It's like we've been having a good time the last couple of days. There's nobody crashing out here. Let's see. And a 5 bomb comes in from Skillful to get us to 448. Thank you so much. I think it's bad, and I played for some hours. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. This guy says you're crashing out 100%. Okay, I tell you what. You can crash on out of chat. Thanks so much for being here and helping my channel. You guys keep making alts, which new accounts interacting with the channel is really helping it. So congratulations on spending your day doing that. I appreciate the ad revenue. Complete garbage on controls, he says. This game somehow manages to overcomplicate what Black Desert had and at the same time deliver less. So many keys for so little. To change between tools for mining etc, you have to press F2, move the mouse over to the corresponding slot. Mama, stop it. Mouse wheel until you found the correct tool, which gets resorted all the time, by the way, so no muscle memory for that. And if you will be doing that a lot. Oh, yeah, by the way, updates on console completely revert all your settings to default. So they pushed out an update. They pushed out an update in the patch, and then I booted up the game, and everything I had changed had been reset. My joystick wasn't inverted. My joystick wasn't inverted. I was no longer on performance mode. Blur had been turned back on. Like, all my settings got reverted by a patch. So that's always wonderful when developers do that, too. So enjoy that one. And then Siege Master is going to do a single. He's probably going to do one more and land this at the 450 mark. Jason Schreier is replying, and I knew this would probably happen. This is probably in response to the PlayStation launcher thing. He says, I'm always amazed by people's ability to twist things and maybe not, as long as they have a narrative that works to grab attention. There it is. Siege Master lands the 450 plane. We're officially 50 members away from unlocking Saturday night. Can someone explain how we went from PlayStation rebranding PSN to them releasing a PC launcher and launching games on day one? I trust the recent statements from Schreier and Nate Drake, as well as other sources, that PlayStation was going to stop releasing single-player games. Could you refute these accusations? Okay, so Jason Schreier says, at some point Sony will confirm it, whether it's on a call with investors or maybe even when Housemarque starts doing press for Soros and someone asks if they have plans to bring it to PC and they say no. Surprise, surprise. Someone with actual sources is already shooting down the whole, PlayStation's going to do a launcher. PlayStation's going to do a launcher. Like, sure they are. They're going to do day and date. Sure they are. Boy. All right, let's keep reading this one. Puzzles. Puzzles are a core element of the game, and some are fine, but many are tedious and badly designed. If you have played Genshin Impact, take the worst puzzles from that game. That's the baseline for Crimson Desert, just with clunky controls on top. Sucker Punch has pushed out a 1.512 patch. Certain cosmetics from New Game Plus single-player saves are now unlocked. Fixed an issue with Traveler's Maps. Fixed an issue with college player loadouts to be cleared. Added minimum key requirements for matchmaking. Just put transmog in the freaking main game. Graphics, meh. It may look nice in trailers, but it will require ray reconstruction to look like this because all the foliage, shadows, etc. depend on ray tracing and denoising. But even with that, you will find small objects popping in close to you and blurry textures in the distance and some very ugly to look at levels of details, LODs. At least they improve the pop-in compared to Black Desert. Ginger says, I could see that they have that in their back pocket if they change their mind later, but time will tell. Yeah, I think that what might be happening is literally just people speculating, and it got turned into something more. You know? That's what I think happened, is like people are just speculating, and it just turned into like this rumor, and it's like it was just a guy speculating. feel of the game. Tedious, very tedious. You have to farm quite a lot of resources, but they manage to make it extremely annoying. Trees, for example, need to be cut multiple times, and after that, you have to pick up 6 pieces of wood by holding the button. Let's say there is a reason similar games don't make you hold a button when picking stuff up, because it feels horrible if you do it all the time. Yeah, like ding, 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 like click, click, click to pick stuff up doesn't feel too bad, but like hold, that just feels terrible. Again, that's death by 1,000 cuts. Like, who wants to do that? It's there. This is what's remarkable to me. This is what's remarkable. The fact that they do these types of things, and it's like nobody else is doing this. Show us your gameplay or your review is irrelevant, bro. This is a Steam review, bro. This guy played the game for 12 hours, bro. Show us your gameplay or your commentary in my chat's irrelevant. Haha, got him. Luckily, you won't be picking up much because inventory says no. Oh, and don't think you can reorder items in your inventory. Nope, we don't do that in 2026 games anymore, or at least in Crimson Desert. When going to an NPC shop, Cliff slows down to a crawl, and the game managed to make something as basic as walk towards NPC annoying after a while. And on top of that, you also need to stand in front of the NPC to talk. If you happen to approach the NPC from an awkward angle, you just can't talk. It's grayed out. And that kind of feel is everywhere in the game. It just feels off and clunky. It felt so clunky that I can't even properly describe it or compare it to something else. Soundtrack? There's a soundtrack? I never noticed there being one, so it's either so extremely generic that it just drowned out for 12 hours, or it's bugged and non-existent. There were odd times where like that there was just no sound at all. It's like the game just goes dead quiet. And you're like, you literally feel like, is something glitched? Like, there were multiple times I felt like that happened. I'm like, is something wrong? But I just think that the game literally just goes quiet. MF or be hating for no reason. It's a good game. Simple as that. It has a 58% on Steam globally, according to the users. So, yeah, you're allowed to like it, but no one's hating for no reason. I'm literally reading reviews so that people on PC can see how the game is running across a variety of specs, hardware, and experiences. The irony of coming into a chat to say what you just said and say, I'm hating for no reason. That's literally what you are doing. Show us your entire game library and all the hours in every game, or you're not a real gamer, bro. I think some of you all are just genuinely mad that the game is not as good as you were hoping, and you're mad that I was right. Like, you're literally in your feelings, and you're in here malding about it. Conclusion, go and check other reviews. There is something seriously wrong with this game, and there is a high chance that it is not for you. Would recommend to wait for future patches to improve these things. It's another Mind's Eye. It's another Day Before. It's a game that tricked everybody with fake marketing, and the actual game is like a steaming pile of mediocrity. You know, it's just like, I don't know what to tell you. If you can get over all these things, a lot of people had a lot of fun, but man, oh man, the more I read, the more I'm kind of surprised that some of the reviews were so positive. I'm just like, what? How did you guys not get annoyed by this? Like, I would love to do an interview with Force Gaming and be like, how did this stuff not annoy you? You play MMOs. I don't understand. I like how you say you warned us when you had nothing to go by and it was just a guess. Just a guess? Trailers that were good to be true, super cranked PC footage uploaded to the PlayStation channel, a refusal of showing us actual console footage, telling Fighting Cowboy that we wouldn't believe them and they would send the game to Digital Foundry. They didn't send the game to Digital Foundry. They sent them a PlayStation 5 Pro in person with the game pre-installed. They got snippy, snarky, and combative with people. When we finally saw console footage on the PlayStation Japanese channel, it visibly looked hugely downgraded from the marketing of the game. These were all red flags. Oh, also, they didn't send console review copies to anybody, just PC, just like Cyberpunk. Those are not nothing. Those are red flags and clues. It was not a guess. It was analysis. It was pattern recognition. If you're too thick to see all these things and understand why I was warning people, I don't know, man. That's on you. That's on you. I wasn't guessing. Those were this was in the entire lead up to the game. I kept saying, guys, these are red flags, boys. How do you look at all these things and give them your money? How? I don't get it. We are in the greatest position of strength and power that we have ever been as gamers, and folks rolled over for this frickin' game. Instead of asking this studio to do right by the public and to talk straight and to show us the game, everybody rolled over and wanted to bootlick and simp for it because they were excited and thought, oh, an Eastern developer is going to save us with a bunch of mediocrity. I kept saying, they've not earned your purchase. Make a company earn your purchase. It's your money. Like, treat it like it's yours. It's not, well, it looks good. Here you go. Like, we're in the greatest position of strength as gamers that we have ever been. We have never been this strong. You can literally see games day one. Day one, you can see these issues. Watching people stream it, watching people talk about it, watching people review it. Giving a company your money when they treated you like this, the complete and utter dishonesty and lack of respect from Pearl Abyss, and the fact that some of y'all gave them your money willingly, defended them willingly, called me a hater and a rage baiter, man, that's embarrassing because they did not respect you. They were so dishonest. It's mind-blowing to me that people are still acting like this is fine and not that big of a deal, or, oh, the game's fine. Even if you are having fun, it absolutely does not gloss over all the things I've already stated. It doesn't. It doesn't. You don't get to gloss over the misleading marketing and the dishonesty and the flat out lies. Like, they just flat out lied. Even if you're having fun, even if your PC can get around some of the performance issues, or you don't mind some of these things, but like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, I mean that. I would love to ask Force Gaming, like, you like MMOs. How do these things not bother you? Like, the resource management and the inventory management. These are like just Bush League problems that a game should not have. This guy says, shut up, there's no dishonest. Did you play the game? I did. Get out. PC Master Race Ambassador checking in. How's the console gameplay? It's rough. It's rough, Big Fry. It's rough. Did you play the game? I streamed it last night, yes. I streamed it on the base PlayStation 5 and the PS5 Pro. I was going to stream it on the Xbox, but the patch was going to take 3 hours to download. The patch downloaded in like 20 minutes on my PlayStations, and it was going to take 3 hours on the Xbox. It's a common problem with the Xbox. Anytime my daughter wants to play Fortnite on the weekend, I have to like babysit the update for Fortnite, and I have to pause it and unpause it and pause it and unpause it, because it'll be like, oh, 300, 400 meg down. Oh yeah, it's going to be quick. And then it'll slow down to a crawl. So an update that should take 15 minutes will take multiple hours. I don't know why Xbox does that. I have very fast internet, and the only way I can download an update quickly on the Xbox, I literally have to babysit it and pause it and unpause it. I couldn't do that. I was streaming and showing you guys gameplay. The day one patch downloaded. There were two patches actually, but the bigger one, it downloaded in like 20 minutes on both my PlayStations. You've never had that problem with Xbox? Jen from Windows Central tweeted about this. She was having the exact same problem, like ridiculously slow download speeds. It's like, what is going on? It's so weird. Targeting Xbox now? No. I'm simply telling you my experience. That always happens for some reason on my Series X. I have to babysit the updates, and I don't know why. Yo, Doc Dark says, Lono, they can say what they want about you, but you were right. You were right. You called it. Thank you, Doc. What did Big Fry say? He said, what? How could we have never seen this coming? Yeah, it's a shock, isn't it? It's like, I can't believe this game runs poorly on console. Have you not played it on PC? No. Why would I play it on PC? I game on my couch. I have a PlayStation 5 Pro. That's where I primarily game. Booting it up on a 5070 Ti and being like, well, guys, it looks and runs better here. Of course it's going to look and run better here. That's not going to change the fact that, like, the story is bland, the puzzles are stupid, the controls are terrible, like, the interactions with the NPCs don't make sense. Like, sometimes you just press one button, sometimes you have to press two buttons. The interaction with the magic doesn't make any sense. Their own CM blocked you for asking a question before launch. Who would have thought? That's exactly right. Homie blocked me. I mean, I did more than ask a question. I was critical of their marketing. I was critical of it. Learning curve issues? It's not learning curve issues. We just read multiple reviews on Steam of guys that are like, it's even terrible on mouse and keyboard. They walked through why the controls are bad. Like, it was like, it's just so convoluted and backwards. Why would you play on PC? Consoles are the pure reason gaming tech has been held back for years. I've dealt with people like you before. I feel like you're probably in here on an alt. I've had somebody run this argument before, and you're literally saying something that is 100% idiotic. The vast majority of people on PCs are on mid-level rigs and down. Go look at the Steam reports. Even in the PC realm, riddle me this, Batman. If consoles are holding back gaming so much, why are most of the games that are PC exclusives, why are they not pushing the graphics that high? Why are they not pushing innovation that high? The vast majority of PC exclusive games are like little indie and AA titles. Dude, spitting facts as a PC Master Race ambassador. Thank you, Big Fry. Listen, if you think PCs are being held back, like gaming's being held back by consoles, homie, there's an ocean of exclusives on PC, and none of those games are pushing graphics to an absurd degree. That doesn't make an ounce of sense. All those games exclusive to PC, why aren't they going crazy? Why aren't they taking graphics to like the highest of heights? Do you want to know why they don't do that? They're not going to build for all you 50 series Master Race boys. They're going to build for the most people. They're going to make sure people can play the game and buy the game because they're trying to make money. I fully believe the corporations still pushing for last-gen releases is what's actually holding innovation back. And that's a money-based decision, if anything. That's not like a console holding back the industry-based decision. That's companies trying to make money. You're not even thinking about this logically. You're just speaking in like, you know, a propagandistic nonsense. Like, well, consoles are holding back, you know, the generation. Yet, tell that to Mark Cerny and Project Amethyst with AMD as they're about to improve FSR once again because of their research and their work on PSSR. You know, FSR 4 was literally one of the first things to come out of Project Amethyst, which is a collaborative work from PlayStation and AMD, and yet you think consoles are holding back gaming? You don't know what you're talking about. You're not even looking at the actual industry and what's going on with the tech and what's advancing the tech and making games look and run better if you think consoles are holding things back. If anything, PlayStation is at the forefront of making games look and run better with AMD. A $2 super chat from Benny. You dropped this, Lonostradamus. It's a crystal ball. Thank you. Guys, DLSS 5 is going to save us all. Nobody here right now is doing like console crying. I read Steam reviews of people saying this game ain't it. It's got a 58% on Steam Global. Explain that to me. Is that the console? Is that the console's fault? Somehow it's the console's fault? I thought Eastern developers were going to save us. And like Western journalists had a predisposition to not like this game. Really? What's really interesting, if you look at the score on Steam, this will really twist up your noodle if you think like Eastern versus Western is the problem. Let me just show you what happens when you actually include the whole world and not just America. Would you like to know what happens? I'll show you what happens. The score gets lower. So tell me again how, like, the West has a predisposition against the Eastern developers. Here's my language. Here's English-speaking persons, and the game has a 70%. Let's include the rest of the world, shall we? Almost 20,000 reviews, and the score drops to a 58%. But it's a Western journalism bias against Eastern developers. And yet, the minute you include the rest of the world, the score plummets. Isn't it remarkable how silly propagandistic narratives just dash on the rocks of truth? This idea that, like, this game was going to be the second coming, and when it doesn't come true, you want to have a go at me? Like I'm in the wrong? I was just trying to warn the public about misleading marketing. Why don't you have a go at the studio that delivered another bill of goods? What's your problem with me? A 10 bomb from Mile High gets us to 460 members on the week. Thank you for the 10 bomb Mile High. Thank you for the happy partner anniversary. It is my partner anniversary on Twitch. Why did Breath of the Wild's control stream not generate such a huge backlash, but Crimson Desert gets it? Almost the same controls. You cannot honestly think that the control scheme in Crimson Desert is the same as Breath of the Wild. You can't be serious. You want to know what I never did in Breath of the Wild? I never did any of this. What are you even talking about? What are you talking about? Breath of the Wild didn't have controls like that. Breath of the Wild had the most basic controls ever. Expensive graphic cards don't mean anything if the devs didn't make it to that level. I can't get over this chart. Is that chart real? Yeah. That's all the things you can do. The controls are absurd. Multiple people came back from the preview event and in multiple reviews talked about this. Like, it's actually difficult to remember everything you're supposed to do. This guy says you just suck at games. I didn't even play that long to comment on the controls. I'm echoing to you what people have said. I mean, Fighting Cowboy himself said that there are issues with the controls. People that have reviewed it on Steam and have tried both mouse and keyboard and controller are like, yeah, the controls are terrible. I guess every single person that's complaining about the controls and the combat and the clunkiness, I guess they're all bad at games. Like, if only we were as good as you. You were right, take your flowers. I'm loving the game. I like janky games, but they completely misled the community, and this is not a good game. Thank you, Space Age Santa. I appreciate that. I had a lot of people in chat last night saying I saved them money. My goal was to make sure you spent your money with full knowledge of what you were buying. I was not anti-Crimson Desert. I was pro-truth, pro-accuracy. I wasn't like trying to get people to not buy the game. I wanted to make sure if you pre-ordered the game, you knew what you were buying. There were people in the Discord and there were people in chat that are like, you know what? It's janky. I'm still going to get it. That's fine with me. That's fine with me, as long as you know what you're getting. Like, as long as you felt like you were informed, I did my job. Fighting Cowboy also called it near perfection. He says that, but he says that with a lot of caveats of, like, it's really difficult to get to that point. Like, he spent a lot of time in one area. He really, really got, strong and really mastered the combat. There were plenty of people that said they liked it after 5 to 10 hours. That's a big ask of gamers. I told y'all that was a huge risk because gamers are not just giving you their money, they're giving you their time, and time cannot be refunded. No one's going to keep playing a game after a couple of hours, gambling with their precious time, hoping that things get better. If after an hour or two, things are bad and you're not having a good time, you're not going to be like, well, I bet you things get better if I play for 6 more hours. Typically, you're like, I don't like this. I'm out. You can't get your time back. playing for 5 to 8 hours, hoping that a game gets good, you still might think the same thing. You still might think the same thing. You might get to the end of the 5 or 8 hours and still feel like, yeah, I still don't like this. That's a huge gamble. There were numerous reviews that had played for 10, 12, 30 hours. The one guy had played for 38 hours. He had early access. He had received the game for free, and even he was negative. Fighting Cowboy always overhypes games. Dragon Dogma 2 and Neo come to mind. Neo 3 has gotten virtually universal praise as like the best in the franchise, so I don't know why you're including that. Dragon's Dogma 2 had performance issues, but hasn't it aged better? I feel like Dragon's Dogma... Oh, no, it's got a 67% on Steam. It was pretty bad on console, too. I don't know why the score is low. Fighting Cowboy likes very specific kind of games. This is his kind of game. I told people yesterday to watch Fighting Cowboy's review, and I said watch Force Gaming's review. I respect those gentlemen. I think they're trustworthy. And I said, if you guys are like them, then you can listen to them and maybe buy the game with confidence on PC. So, like, but again, I said, don't buy it on console until we see console performance, and then we did. He played Dragon's Dogma on a monster rig. He didn't have a lot of the same issues other people had. This is worse than the Starfield Defense. It's hard to hack through the crowd, Liquid Smoke, because we have bad actors coming in. There's a group of people that have organized, and this entire week, they were organizing and planning and saying, let's go in and defend the game and try and get him wound up. Like, quite literally, that's what people do with their time. Like, that's literally how pathetic they are. So, like, we know that a lot of people coming in and saying these things might not even be defending the game. They're just bad actors that are bored. They just have an empty life, and this is what they do with it. Like, attention from daddy is all they want. Like, if I respond to a couple of their comments, I mean, they're probably elated for days. I dropped a sub. Your takes are based. Thank you. Happy partner anniversary. Thank you. Guys, in 1 hour, we will be going over and doing the gaming roundtable with Ginger. We will be doing that. So, you have about an hour to hit the goal. And stretch goal, we're going to make a rule now. If you guys want to hit stretch goal, it has to be hit within about the first hour of the stream tomorrow night. It looks like you guys are going to unlock the Saturday stream, though. Give me the final verdict. Should I spend 70 or not? No. No. I typically don't tell people what to do with their money. This game is in such a rough state right now, such a Bush League amateurish state. I strongly recommend you not buying this game, or at least buy it on Steam so you can get your money back if in the first 2 hours you end up agreeing with me. There's definitely a group of average gamers unionizing to wind you up. Let them. Joke's on them. Joke's on them. They interact with my channel and give me relevancy. You run an ad blocker and be like, well, I'm not going to give him ad revenue. Do you have any idea what happens when you click on a video and come in and chat continually throughout a week? You're communicating that the video is relevant. Like, this is way worse. Todd Howard or whatever it was, this just works guy, hyped Starfield up to be generational. The hype for this game was in all the gaming community. Crimson Desert posted that they sold 2 million copies before Bungie. They mentioned Bungie? Or you're saying they said that before Bungie has said that? It's like people that buy a product to destroy it in a boycott. Like, you aren't getting how this works. That's right. I feel like they should have started with a more focused and linear single-player experience, like Shift Up did with Stellar Blade, instead of being ambiguous. Well, I think part of the problem is... that because it started as an MMO... trying to turn an MMO into a single-player game, they should have absolutely gutted map size and NPC density. They should have. That seems to be the primary problem. So, like, if you play an MMO and you go into a new region or you're in a very large area, a lot of MMOs will use like server instancing and things to make sure the game is running smoothly for you. A lot of the NPCs and enemies and things, a lot of those things are handled server side. So like your rig or your console is not having to do all those things. That's part of the problem with this. It's like those MMO elements are now having to run on your... Dude, stop spamming. I'm just insta-banning spammers. I have no patience for it. There's too many people here for that. Stop doing it. You posted the same thing 7 times. That's a ban. I'm not playing these games with people. Quit. You are suddenly having to do all those things on your console. There's no server to hold it. Does that make sense? It just looks like Where Winds Meet, but offline, and they threw all that content in our faces and assume we'll be figuring it out. Well, and I think this is one of the reasons people kept saying, well, there's no games that are doing this. The map size. You know, the map size and the number of NPCs. Do you want to know why other games don't do it? Because it's a bad idea. You're taking MMO size scope, MMO size NPC density, and you're trying to put it in a single player game. Yeah, there's a reason that nobody else is doing that. It's stupid. It's stupid. People kept acting like, well, that's okay that it's running that poorly because look how big the world is and look how many NPCs there are. And I'm like, but who cares if it runs poorly? That's like saying, look at how much stuff that my truck is towing. Isn't this great? Yeah, man, I can move your whole house. And it's going to take him 12 hours to get across town because his car is driving 10 miles an hour. Because his car's not strong enough to do it. That would be stupid. You'd be like, well, yeah, you can move my entire house for $50. It's going to take you all day. This is dumb. As a value proposition, this is dumb. They took MMO level size, scope, and enemy density and NPC density, and they shoved it into a single player game. And we're all like, gee, I wonder why it's running poorly. You can tow with a Honda Civic, but there's a reason most people don't do it. That's exactly right. So that's what was getting lost in the conversation. People were just constantly saying how, well, nobody else is doing this. Yeah, there's a reason that nobody else is doing this in single player games. It's dumb. I'm glad I did not purchase the game, says Rastrus. I got burned by Cyberpunk for PS4. Watching 8 hours of gameplay on different systems. I love the concept, but it's really rough in this day and age, and gaming is not worth the expense. I'll wait for updates. Fable next. I don't even think Fable's going to come out this year. The more I've watched and rewatched that developer direct, that game is not close to being ready. It isn't. It just isn't. I know we're doing something right. I keep getting Raid Shadow Legends emails. We've had a good week if I keep getting those emails. We're hitting viewership threshold alerts somewhere. Are higher end CPUs helping with the game more GPU? Anyone? I don't know. We read through a handful of Steam reviews, Stevie, and it doesn't seem like performance wasn't coming up that much. It was the clunkiness of the controls, the mundaneness of the activities, the stupidity of the inventory limitations for a game where you're like getting materials and trying to make food and potions. It's like, what? I played it. I requested a refund, says Random Mishaps. The story is stupid. The controls are very heavy, and I got under 60 FPS when putting the graphics to medium and DLSS at balanced, and I got heavy ghosting. Well, I'm glad you got your money back. I hope they delay Fable another 6 months to a year. Let Raid Shadow Legends pay for that new camera. No. We're fan funded here, man. I ain't taking those kind of deals. I'll do sponsorships if it's something that I'm willing to do and something that I respect. I'm not doing Raid Shadow Legends. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much, Edward. It's our 11-year partner anniversary on Twitch. I've been partnered for 11 years. Now, 4 of those years, I was off platform, but, you know. Buy or not, this is a don't buy. This is a don't buy. You did warn people. I tried. What do you mean? Red Dead's map is pretty huge. Drew, have you seen the size of this map? Have you seen any of the things that people have shown? 41 months from Edward. You guys are running out of time to get this to 500 for tomorrow. You've got about an hour. I want to like the game, but I can't. My time is precious. Having to wade through clunk and junk for 10 hours is not even an option. I may boot it up when it's on PS Plus if it's been reworked and fixed. Thanks, Lono. Thank you. If I have helped you guys make a decision on this, do me a quick favor. Hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It was a good week for us, but it was a little frustrating. We got attacked quite a bit, called a lot of names, and if I helped you out, then you can help me out by hitting the like button and the subscribe button. That helps me. If you want to go beyond that and do a membership, we are working on a goal right now. $5 a month will get you a badge and emotes and into my members-only Discord. Wire Rope with a 5-bomb, and Madden Mills renews for 10 months over there on Purple as well. Boom and boom, we're at 467. Thank you so much, boys. You're not going to put out a review? Why in the world would I do that? This game is not worth my time. It is a bill of goods. They misled the public. They marketed this game as like the second coming, amazing graphics. Oh, it's just such a wonderful game. And it runs like slop on console. It runs bad. Unless you're okay with quality mode, that seems to be the only way people can stomach it. Well, that's a 30 FPS game. I'm not doing that. Mike Moore with a 10-bomb over here on YouTube gets us to 477. And then Jay White with 46 months on the renewal. Thank you so much, Jay. Getting us a little bit closer. Crimson Desert is getting too much hate from the likes of you. Aww. It's not as bad as people are making it out for me. Stop crying. Aww. So sad and angry in my chat, like all the other people this week. Aww. This guy is trash. Aww. Aren't they adorable, chat? Their feeble efforts. Their feeble efforts. Like a turtle on their back, just swinging. Just try. Keep trying. It's kind of cute at this point. The next game I'm hyped for, and I know will be very good, is Lords of the Fallen 2. They seem like they learned a lot of good lessons with the first game. They do. They seem like they learned a lot of good lessons. You're on a generational hate run of Crimson Desert. This ain't a hate run, brother. This is a victory lap. Try to keep up. I told people what it was going to be, and I was right. And it's just hurting the people that disagreed with me and called me names all week. Balance is okay, but it's not what I expected it to be. Terrible performance in combat. Well, I said that earlier. I did. I said that earlier. I said these people that are enjoying the game at quality mode and at balanced, I'd wait till you get a little further in the game. I mean, I saw some fights of like 20 dudes on a bridge. I'm like, I think even in quality and balance mode, that's going to be tough. A 5-bomb from Too Thirsty. Thank you so much. I got it for $10. My work was doing a giveaway. They gave you a gift card, but I wouldn't pay the $70. Homie, you did have fun. If you used a gift card that you could have used on something else, anyways, have fun. That you spent. I mean, I guess I get your logic, but homie, come on. That's girl math? Yeah, that... Stop it. Don't be mean. Don't burst his bubble. Homie said girl math. Oh, golly. Lord have mercy. I don't want to be mean, but it reminded me of my kids. Whoever made the girl math joke won the week. Well done. Yeah, that was good. That got me. That was funny, man. It's like my wife does that. She's like, no, I saved money. I'm like, you did the opposite of save money. You spent money. Oh my gosh. Like, those debates are always fun to have as a married couple. Yo, Damien with 5 months over there on purple gets us to 484. Thank you. Oh. Homie said, I wouldn't have spent 70 on it. Homie, you did. Oh, man. That was funny. Oh, my goodness. I don't think I've ever been told that I look like an Indian actor. Who's this person? That's a handsome man. I'm always a little bit jealous of Indian men or like Middle Eastern men. That dark thick beard, man. Y'all's facial hair is on another level. Anyone who purchased the base PS5 is trying to get a refund. It's possible. You just have to be persistent with Sony support. I got my refund 20 minutes ago. Congrats. This guy says, your Chanel sucks. Why did your phone autocorrect to Chanel? I have questions. Before I ban you, I would really like to know why your phone autocorrected to the perfume name. Chanel. Coz, you're no good at it. You're woke. You misspelled your twice. I'm woke. Okay. You apparently wear a Chanel perfume. I'd be a little bit more worried about you. I mean, homie, you can tell us. You can tell us. We won't tell anybody. Are you gay? We won't tell anybody. You just say it here, and we will keep it between us. All right. We will keep it between us. It's a good cologne. I thought it was perfume. Is it cologne? I walk very quickly through those areas of the mall, so I just thought it was perfume. Maybe your Chanel isn't as good as his. I thought it was perfume. Oh gosh. To quote Ice-T from Law and Order, I got news for you. You're gay. Chanel is like 99% for ladies. They have a cologne, though, I've been using for forever. Okay, well, I didn't have Zubair coming out of the closet on my bingo card for 2026, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding, you teddy bear. Oh, golly. I've been educated recently that perfume isn't for women. It's apparently how long the scent will last. Huh? You are calling someone gay? Really? Don't hate, honey. The ladies love it. I'm joking around. You know that I'm like married with 2 children, right? Like, I joke around about having guy crushes, but you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty straight, bro. I like to joke and maybe get a little flirty, but I'm straight, bro. I promise. I'm straight. This streamer crashes out insisting he is straight. Oh, I bring my kids on stream. There's proof. Here's proof. It's real. We've been derailed. We are totally derailed. Oh gosh. This is what you're supposed to do with trolls, man. You just bat them around the room and have fun with them. You know what I mean? Like a cat playing with like a piece of yarn. I'm straight, he yelled intently. That's good. Fuzzy says, you have kids? That's kind of gay. You have kids? You're a responsible husband? It's kind of gay, bro. Oh, my word. Oh, I like that that's back on the menu. Those are fun jokes. I'm married ain't proof. Come here. Hey, settle down. This ain't that kind of stream. You know? Introducing Seething and Molding by Lono with Polo Ralph Lauren. That's right. When you kiss a girl, you're kissing all the guys she kissed. When you kiss a guy, you're kissing all the girls he kissed. That's a weird way to ask for a kiss, Greg. I mean, golly. You know what I'm saying? Buy me dinner first, brother. No new babies recently, though. Just saying. Mind your business, John Always. Zubair says, wait. That math. It's going to be an interesting weekend with the homies. Zubair's like, all right, guys, hear me out. Nobody leave. Just let me finish my speech first, and then you can leave, okay? He gets out like a chart. He's like, okay, so if we've all kissed X number of women, and we kiss each other, we can multiply the number of women we have kissed significantly. So, no, don't. I said don't leave until I'm done. I have more charts. They're all leaving. Like, oh, frick. One guy stays behind. He's like, I think this is clever. You're like, oh, who invited Dave? Oh, gosh. Minnie Black says, if you've lived out here in Atlanta, I'm here to tell you that the fact that you have a wife and kids means nothing out here. There's plenty of men out here that are on the back corner of the closet. Now listen, Black, I don't live in Heathenville, okay? I live in God's country, okay? We worship the Lord up here in Louisville, Kentucky. Now down there, I don't know what you heathens are doing. Rissick gifts a member and gets us to 485. Thank you so much, Rissick. You know what I'm saying? This is bourbon country. This is God's country. And cousins. That's right. Thank you, Donkey Sausage. We got to include that. That's right. We keep it straight, biblical, and sometimes cousins. But that's different. It's not as bad as what y'all are doing down there. You live near a city, though. That's kind of gay. I live in a suburb. That's very gay, bro. Someone's kiss chart has bigger numbers than the frame count for Crimson Desert. Oh, gosh. And a single gifted comes in from Rissick. Gets us to 486. I was told my state was God's country. At least we ain't Mississippi, though. I mean, leave Mississippi alone, dude. With all those S's. You know what I'm saying? You're bound to say it and have a little bit of a slur in your voice. You know what I mean? You're gonna sound kind of gay. You know, Mississippi. Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Y'all keep it in the family. Seems efficient. Jade says all men are bi. Jade, come on. That's not true. Who told you that? Who told you that, Jade? Oh, gosh. My last couple of boyfriends. Oh, who wants to tell her? Since we've already derailed, have you been following Exodus? Any thoughts on it? Looks ambitious. You know, I genuinely think that's the trouble with a lot of these games. Like, we see these trailers, and they just seem so ambitious. It's just hard to know. Like, Exodus looks kind of wild. You know? It looks kind of wild. Here, hang on. I want to get rid of this guy before he gets a membership. There we go. So I'm like, basically, if it's a studio that I've not heard of, or like a new game that we've not seen much of, or again, you know, the trailers and stuff seem kind of crazy, I'm just going to be really apprehensive. Like, okay, let's see some hands-on. Let's see some, maybe play a demo or something. I don't know. I think Exodus looks very promising, but it's just hard to know. I mean, there's the other one too, the stinking one based off the sci-fi TV show that looks kind of crazy. And then there's the single-player campaign for Star Citizen, and it's like, oh, I don't know, man. It's hard to know. It really is. It's just like they just look so ambitious. They look so crazy. And it's like, well, are they actually going to be good? Neo Berlin looks amazing. Yeah, it looks like the next Mind's Eye. Yeah, The Expanse. Sorry, I forgot about it. Is Louisville genuinely a nice city? I've never been. Louisville's amazing. I love it here. I've lived in Louisville for 24 years. It's amazing. Cost of living is very, very reasonable. The downtown is nice. It's bourbon country, baby. We got a pretty good soccer team. We get pretty good concerts at the Yum Center. We do the Derby. We do Thunder over Louisville. We've got good events. I mean, I actually think Louisville's a great city. It is. Well, whenever you don't look at the Marathon Steam charts right now. With the cryo event, I actually was kind of surprised that they weren't seeing, like, for the week. I promise you I'm not hating. I promise you I'm not hating. But, like, I expected this to be different this week in particular. Like, here, peak is down, peak is down, peak is down, peak is down. Right? Like, I thought cryo would have caused the opposite to happen. Like, a lot of the people that bought it would, like, kind of come back and be in there. Like, it just, I don't know. Like, this week going down, even if you're a fan, I would say that's concerning. It's like, this was the week that you would expect people to kind of, like, jump in. I knew you live close to me, but that close, I live in Eville. Oh, nice. We did a little gameplay sneak peek. We did get a little gameplay sneak peek. Do we know what they're playing that on? DJ May. Thank you so much, sir. Happy partner anniversary, 28 months. You guys are running out of time. Yeah, I mean, this looks sick. That looks an awful lot like something from Destiny. Shank or whatever they were called. Yeah, this looks fantastic. I will say this looks believable, though. It does. Like the graphics and the lighting and the movement, it looks believable. It doesn't look like something that's like impossible. It just, you get into these sections and, your lighting and your reflections, like, okay, it's pretty ambitious. This game is called Exodus. I swear to frick, if he jumps and can go all the way down, come on now. Come on now. How long is this? Okay. I think this looks great. Yeah, I don't know. Is this UE5? It doesn't have the generic UE5 like lighting look to it. It looks like it's had some tender love and care. Sometimes I feel like the UE5 games are like easy to spot because of the lighting alone. Check the Expanse Osiris Reborn after. Here. I'm going to loop this. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I think Exodus looks fantastic. I would say that everything they show in this trailer, I think it all looks very believable. You know what I mean? You can wishlist it today. It's coming to all platforms. Yeah, I again don't think anything in Exodus looks like too good to be true or something like that. It looks believable. It looks fun. Like from the very beginning with Crimson Desert, I felt like it didn't look believable. It didn't. It did not look believable. It looked like we were being shown fake stuff. It triggered those alarm bells in my brain. It reminded me of the day before trailers. It was like, that doesn't look right. Something's off. Expanse Osiris Reborn. Expanse Osiris Reborn. Somebody has gameplay of that one? I thought that we just had... That's all like 4 months old. None of this is new. No, I've already seen all that. In Crimson Desert, your horse can slide. I saw that clip. I saw that clip on Twitter. That was actually pretty funny. So it isn't good? No, it's got a 58% on Steam global score. Its score on PlayStation continues to go down. Its score on Xbox is so heavily padded by 5-star reviews that all landed on the 17th. And Rissick with the 10 bomb on YouTube's going to put us on the doorstep of the weekly goal. We're 3 away. Who's going to secure it? Just going to leave a nice... What is this? Why would you use that word? And a 5 bomb from Rissick pushes us past. And there it is. Saturday night has been secured. Now, here's the deal, boys. You have about a half an hour to hit stretch goal, okay? If you hit stretch, Madam has to play Crimson Desert. We will have her, I will buy the game again, and we will have her play it on PC tomorrow night. You'll get a double header. So if you guys have never been here before on a Saturday night, we have my wife react to gaming news, and then if you hit stretch goal, we do a double header. After we're done reacting to gaming news, we do a second segment where Madam or I play a game. So last week it was Slay the Spire. Now, we are going to start to say, if you want to hit stretch, you can't hit it at like the very end of the stream on Saturday. You need to do it like before then so we can plan accordingly and have the game installed and be ready to go. So you have the rest of the stream and roughly the first hour of tomorrow's stream. That's all the time I can give. I can't have the entire evening hanging in the balance like that. Like last week, I did right, and Silent Spartan went crazy and hit the buzzer, the goal at the buzzer, and then we just kept streaming. I was getting ready to shut down. So is mouse and keyboard worse or controller? It sounds like both are bad. Do you put wax in your hair? No, there's just like an Old Spice like pomade product that I use. So how do we hit the goal? You can sign up for a membership. It adds to the total. If you sign up for a member plus, that counts as 2. It's like $6 instead of 5, but it adds to the paying member total. You can gift members. Both Twitch and YouTube can participate. So that's how you hit 750. You said by 9 on Saturday. Yeah, so basically by 9, that's right, I did say that. Like the first hour of the stream. We start the stream at 8 o'clock on Saturday, and within the first hour, you guys have that time to hit stretch. So if you're going to try and do that, you have 30 minutes. Have you seen the video of this person, what they're saying about you? No, I don't pay any attention to people like that. I don't respect or pay any attention to people like that. They're out completely outside of my frame. It's a shame. Crimson Desert, I wanted to play it. I guess I'll wait and see if it gets any better. Have a wonderful weekend. Yo, thanks so much, Highlanders. A $5 super chat from Broken Earth. Crimson Desert doesn't support Intel Arc GPUs at all. It's being shocked that they deliberately chose not to support Arc GPUs. Paying to torture your wife? It's fun. It's in good spirit. She doesn't, it's not going to be that bad, especially not on PC. You should really watch my video, though. What video? What are you talking about, Ginger? Wait, you made a video about me? A new one? Or are you talking about like old videos or something? Madam's review will be the final say if we buy the game or not. New Saros video? Which one? There's a new one? Another one? I mean, there are like 7-arc GPUs in the wild, and I think I own 3 of them. Thank you for the 5 stream streak, Trekkie. Sorry, making a joke. Oh. Madam gives way more than she gets. Oh, yeah. Christopher Burnett, the question command won't work for you because you're not a member right now. After Crimson Desert being a huge disappointment and scoring so low, I'm feeling pretty good about GTA 6 going unchallenged and sweeping the majority of the awards this year. Resident Evil 9 is like, hey, did you forget about me? I got a question. Can you answer it? No, you don't have to pay to ask questions. There's a question command you can use, and like it goes into a form, and I can make it pop up on the screen. You can ask questions, and I'll answer them. I just answered his question. The command just won't work. Like Nightbot won't recognize your question command if you're not a member. I enjoyed it on PC. It's definitely not a game that you can just blow through. If you enjoy just casual exploration and can wait until you're leveled a lot before going after bosses, you'll probably enjoy it more. That was something that Fighting Cowboy said. That you've definitely got to gear up for the fights, and it makes it go a lot better. My question is, I heard that Crimson Desert on PlayStation 5 is in the settings. You got to turn 120 FPS off and put 60 hertz because my TV is only 60. That helps with a little bit, but it doesn't transform the performance at all. Listen, I don't mean to be mean, but I think people are completely exposing that they don't know what they're talking about. They're like, oh, if you turn off the 120 hertz mode on your PlayStation, it runs rock solid 60. No, it does not. That is untrue. They're not representing the product accurately at all. I don't know if it's because they can't tell or because their TV is just... I'm going to be honest with you. I think some people have their TV set up in a way where they are basically playing games at like 30 FPS or low FPS, and so they think it's running fine, and they don't actually know that their TV's not set up properly. I think that's genuinely true for some people, when they're like, oh, I think it runs fine. I don't notice any problems at all. There are people playing the game in quality and balance mode that are like, it runs great. Okay. But that's 30 FPS. That's 40 FPS. If you're trying to run this game at 60, there's no settings that you can change to get it to run at solid 60 on PlayStation 5 or the Pro. It's not possible. It just isn't. I think some people have their TV set up wrong, and they have no idea that maybe they've been playing at the wrong refresh rate or the wrong frame rates, or who knows. So... people are as much to blame for this game as it is on the devs. The marketing and the publishers, to be honest. If hype wasn't that big, it just would be another mid-release Greedfall game or something. I mean, I guess. I tried Series X. It was bad. I refunded. Yeah, I figured a Series X wouldn't be any different than the PlayStation 5. They're basically the same. The classic run monitors at 60 when it's 240. I've done that before. Wasn't there a streamer recently that realized they had their monitor set to 60 instead of 120 or something, and they couldn't believe it? And that was like a streamer. I just had the real boss fight, and the camera is atrocious, but you can see the game is good. It's pretty upsetting, to be honest. I think it's more upsetting when the game seems like it could be so good. Like, if a game is just crap, then, like, who cares? But, like, the inventory issues, the clunky controls, you know, the bad performance, I think it's more upsetting because you're like, remember when we said that, like, Anthem was such a satisfying and fun game to play? That's why people were so mad that it didn't work and they didn't have content. If the game just would have flat out sucked, then nobody would have cared. I think people are upset and irritated because it looks like a promising game. It looks like a game that could be fun. Simplify the controls, simplify the combat, fix all the performance issues, fix the inventory issues. And then it's like, the game could soar for many people. I don't think it would suddenly be like a Game of the Year winner, but I think it would really change people's opinions. I keep hitting the wrong prompts, like the grapple hook mid-battle. Yeah, it's because they've given you way too much to do. I've shown the control scheme a couple of times, like all the things you can do. I'm telling you, most of this game's problems are because it's an MMO trying to be a single-player game. It doesn't work. It's like you've got too many things one person's supposed to do. You've got bosses that aren't tuned for single-person fights. You've got a world that's not tuned for a single-player game where nothing's running on a dedicated server. Those are where all the problems stem from. It's an MMO trying to be a single-player game. I said it's like trying to put an elephant in a single-car garage. It's just not going to fit. It's not going to work. It just came out. They're patching a lot of this. They are doing weekly changes based on the feedback. So, people already paid for it, brother. Who the frick cares about that? I mean it. Like, oh, but they're fixing it. I don't care. Ship a complete product, man. Get out of here with that. Let them cook. They already had their chance to cook. They got a bunch of people's money, and they told people to pre-order. Let them cook. So you're bashing the game, but you're not even playing it? No, I'm not bashing the game. I'm informing the public about how it performs and all the problems that have been reported. It has a 58% globally on Steam. Nobody's bashing anything. Here you are. Here's your chat history. When I talked about the Crimson Desert stuff last week, you said, what exactly is misleading? Did they lie about the game? Again, you're complaining about this? A completely different stream. What's the issue? You're bashing the game? What are you? Are you Willpower's brother on an alt? Like, just take a walk. Every time you've come in, you've defended the game. And now the game has a horrendous score on Steam. Visible and tons of problems with performance. And you're still here defending it? You need to find somewhere else to hang out. Jiminy Christmas. The defense force for this game is weird, man. Y'all are weird. I can't stress it enough that people are willingly defending a company that misled the public and shipped a bill of goods. I think your behavior is pathetic. It's just pathetic. It's like Jiminy Christmas. Jiminy. It's totally fine that they were misleading and underhanded and hid things and obfuscated and got people's money and shipped a game that's in a bad state. Why would you defend that? That's just bizarre. 8 years in dev and you can't rebind the WASD keys? There's all sorts of problems. Why are there so many simps for this game? I think the reason it's simp-like behavior, Zubair, is I think it comes from that crowd. For many people, this was a culture war. I mean it. I think that's what's going on. That's why they have very simp. Their posture is like that of a simp because that's where they're coming from. They're coming from like Simpville. They think it's a culture war. It can't fail. It's a destruction of their worldview for this game to fail because it was going to be, a thumbed nose to Western developers, another Eastern game triumph. Like it's literally the destruction of their worldview. That's why they're like in denial about it. It's part of it. It's a part of an ongoing narrative that's been crumbling. It's been crumbling. Yote was a flop. No, it wasn't. They went after Split Fiction and Monhun Wilds, and they went after Kingdom Come Deliverance and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Dude, their worldview is crumbling. And so this was another game that was going to be like a notch in their belt. Eastern developers are just here to prove their muster. 58% on Steam, you sure about that? The game's amazing, you're just dumb. It's amazing to call somebody dumb when you typo your, as in you are just dumb. Regular game. To run, hold forward. Crimson Desert. To run, hold LB, then press X while slightly tilting the analog stick, then do a backflip into a stripper's butt, where y'all will both press RB and RT at the same time while eating mangoes. Mighty Keith. Booming and Zooming says, I hate woke stuff as much as the next person, but if a game is legitimately bad, it has to be called out. That's what I'm saying. I think some people got so dead set on this being like a savior, like it was going to be a triumph. And they, like, that's why they started saying, like, oh, like, Western developers don't get it. And Western studios, or sorry, Western journalists have an agenda against Eastern studios or whatever. And I was like, what the frick is going on? And when that started happening yesterday, I was like, oh, I get it. I know. I understand what's going on. I understand. This game had to be successful. It had to be amazing. And because it's not, their worldview is crumbling. Just do side-by-sides of this game versus Yote. And I mean, blood will squirt out their nose. I'm like, pfft. Yote ran and looked amazing. This does neither. Not really. I just see most AAA games being janky in some way at launch. They get patched and the game gets better. That's why I wait a month or two for new releases. I'm going to be honest with you. I think AAA gets a bad rap and most of the games come out and they're good. And then when one game comes out and it's terrible, everybody acts like that's what AAA is. I just don't think so. I think people also act like AA and indies are like perfect and never have any problems, but then they ignore the ocean of AA and indie titles that come out every year that flop and are absolute trash. But they'll be like, yes, Slay the Spire 2 proves that AAA is cooked, but they won't look at all of the bad AA and indie titles that come out literally every single day and week. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a cherry-picked narrative, and I think people are in their feels because the narrative's been crumbling for a while. At the beginning of 2025, I said, listen, a lot of these grifters are going to pick bad targets. They're going to target games that will do great, and then they won't be able to celebrate. And they did. They targeted Split Fiction, Monhunt Wilds, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. They targeted Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ghost of Yote, and all those games did great. They won awards. They had commercial success. You know what I'm saying? It was like and now this was going to be like their Eastern developer savior to show, like, just see, like, whenever they talk about like Eastern developers are so much better than Western developers, but then they'll ignore games that come out and don't do very well at all from Eastern developers. You know, whether it's Lost Soul aside, or like there's an armada every week of like Japanese developed games that hit Steam that are just slop. I mean, they're slop. And they'll ignore all that. And this was supposed to be like this, oh, this is it. This is the game of the year. It's going to show, you know, Western devs are so out of touch and stupid. It's that, I'm telling you, it's one more piece of that worldview that's crumbling. Yote was a flop for sure. See what I'm saying? There are people that have been quite literally propagandized into literally believing things that are factually untrue. You don't have to like it, play it, or buy it. But to say that Yote was a flop, I mean, I mean this. You've been propagandized. You have been lied to. That's just not true. If you're interested in being factual and being truthful, which, you know, a lot of these people act like they're these super masculine men. It's like, that's not a man of wisdom and prudence to believe lies. You're not a man of wisdom. There's no prudence and discernment there. You're letting people lie to you. That's foolish. That's lacking in discernment. It's childish. Put away childish things. Like, I mean it. It's like, it's just foolishness. You don't have to like the game. You can be like, I don't like it. I don't want to play as a girl. That's fine. But to say it flopped, you're basically saying, I've been propagandized, I've been lied to, and I believe the lies. It's like, why? Why be that? Why be that impressionable? My kids are 10 and 12. I could convince them of anything. They're impressionable. They're young. They lack discernment. It'd be very easy for me to do that. If you're a grown man, that you should pride yourself in being discerning and being wise and like seeing through nonsense. Yeah, the information's public. The idea that like PlayStation and Sony like lied to their shareholders about Yote, like thinking they care about like weirdo YouTubers who grifted and lied about the game. Like PlayStation gives a frick about you guys. Like they don't even pay attention to you. Like, yeah, they lied because they were scared the truth would come out. Yeah, they're gonna risk scandal and being fired and being sued. Compared to Tsushima, it was a total non-factor, forgotten in a week. That's also false. So now you're 2 for 2 saying things that aren't true. Go for 3. That isn't true. And when you say forgotten in a week, what, based on YouTube videos and streams? That's true of every single player game like ever. Like a week or 2 later, no one's streaming or talking about it. I've been doing this for 10 years. That's the pattern. It's always been that way. Whether it's Spider-Man or even Crimson Desert, like games' relevancy die with their single-player games. Their relevancy die typically within 1 to 2 weeks. That's common. That's just the way that it goes. The surge of interest in the algorithm naturally subsides because nobody's looking for reviews or gameplay anymore. So your search volume gets gutted almost instantly. Like, the search volume for a new game is at its apex, like, right when the game comes out. Because people are looking for reviews, first impressions, and gameplay. Gameplay is, like, one of the #1 search terms on YouTube, right? So as soon as the game launches, it's at its apex. It will only come down from there. It will never be at that height ever again. It's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. So when that happens, a lot of people will try to celebrate, and they'll say, oh, look at that. Look at the interest. Look at it. It all went down. Well, yeah, that's normal. Even for absolute triumphs. Even for absolute triumphs like Resident Evil 9. Resident Evil 9 search volume looks like this. This is a masterpiece to some people. This is a Game of the Year frontrunner. This is a Google Trends representation of what I'm talking about. I literally just did that shape with my hands. I just searched this just now. I had no idea that it was going to look like that. That is a visual representation of everything I'm talking about. Would anybody say that Resident Evil 9 was a flop because interest is now back down to like pre-launch interest? Like at apex and now it's back down? So like your stream volume numbers, your viewership numbers are all down. Nobody would ever say that about Resident Evil 9. You would look like an idiot because you'd be like, you're talking about a game that's been highly reviewed and is sold like crazy. Look up Yote. Ghost of Yote did the exact same thing. It's the exact same shape. And that's actually the past 24 hours, actually. Past year. Do you see? It's the same thing. It's the same shape. You would never apply this logic to any other game. You only apply it to games that you don't like. Single-player games are always going to look like this. This is a tried and true, like, apex of attention metric. I've been doing this for a decade. They all do the same thing. Like, you don't understand what you're talking about. You've been propagandized. You've been lied to. You've been misled. You literally believe that a game flopped that didn't because some dishonest YouTuber told you that it flopped. Men of wisdom don't believe lies. They're discerning. Be that. Like, apply like a little bit of investigative rigor. It's all right here at your fingertips. You can use Google just like I can. And listen, a lot of people will now tell you they'll see me say this and they'll see me make this argumentation and they'll be like, "Oh, he's woke." Yes. That makes perfectly good sense. I have 2 degrees from seminary. I'm a straight white Christian man, and I go to a Baptist church every Sunday, and I'm woke. No, I'm not. I think shoving pronouns in games are stupid. I think the top surgery scars in Veilgard was stupid. I think Tash was one of the most cringiest self-insert modern deism stupidity that I've ever seen in gaming. I'm not anywhere near what you would label woke, but I'm also not a fan of lies and dishonesty. I don't abide it. People will put you in a label. They'll put you in a box because they're like, well, I don't like what you're saying, so you're just a wokey. You're just a woke. You liked Veilgard. They were doing that last night. Don't trust this guy. He liked Veilgard. He gave Veilgard a 9 out of 10. No, I didn't. I put Veilgard down and said that I didn't like it and it was a bad game. I actually liked Veilgard for about 10 hours. I thought the combat was pretty good. I ignored Tash because they were the dumbest character I've ever had the displeasure of interacting with in a game. I thought some of the other characters were pretty cool. But then the combat got annoying, the boss fights were freaking terrible, and the story just wasn't that interesting. It didn't hold me, and I put it down. I was like, I just don't think it's a very good game. Even if he did, so what? Yeah, even if for whatever reason I liked Veilgard, it wouldn't change my opinion about, like, or not even opinion, it wouldn't change the reality of Crimson Desert. Like, Crimson Desert isn't scoring well. It has visible performance issues. The marketing was misleading. Veilgard should have been a 10 to 15 hour game. Yeah, I mean, and they just didn't expand. They didn't expand on the combat. Tash was awful, but the rest of the game was fine. I'm telling you, that one boss fight just drove me crazy. The three-headed Hydra or whatever it was, it took so stinking long. And then I started to get further and further into the game, and the fights were just spammy messes. I saw other people review the game, and one particular area, I was saying, like, this is awful. And they literally had a clip of that in their review. And they're like, this is the type of combat that is, like, later in the game. And it's just awful. It's just spammy. I like Veilgard a lot, but I liked than disliked. Got the platinum. I'm also not woke for enjoying aspects of the game. Well, it's just purity testing. The folks that'll do that, and they'll bring up, like, the fact that I was enjoying Veilgard for a little bit, but then ultimately didn't like it and put it down. So they're liars, right? These are not people of integrity. They'll lie and say, oh, he said he gave Veilgard a 9 out of 10. I never said that. So strike number one, you're a liar without integrity. You're just making things up about a person. Second, you're doing purity testing. You're trying to, like, besmirch me ad hominem. You're doing, like, a purity test to be like, well, he liked this thing that we've all determined was slop, so we can't trust this guy. These same people will get super angry about purity testing in other environments. Again, they don't have integrity. These aren't people of character. They're just being nasty because you're criticizing something that they were looking forward to. Why like top surgery scars? Because it makes no sense. It made no contextual sense at all. It was the grossest modern day insert I think I've ever seen in a video game. Like, what the heck? It was stupid. It was like the pronouns in Concord. It's like, have you ever watched Star Trek? Like, just imagining that, like, aliens from other planets would abide by our weird binary of, like, gender pronouns? Like, what the huh? It was stupid. I think it was also stupid to get really upset about the pronouns in Concord, because that's not fundamentally what made that a bad game. I think both sides were being kind of silly. It's stupid to put them in there. It's also stupid to maul about it. Can we just agree that Far Cry 5 is trash? Which one was that? Wasn't that one with the Preacher Man? I thought that one was pretty good. I liked that one. It got a little repetitious and formulaic, but I thought it was fine. Hang on, I gotta set up redirect. I just remembered I haven't done that yet. Cut. There we go. Far Cry 5 was trash. Peak definition of trash. You just keep calling it trash. I mean, what did you think was trash about it? I remember enjoying it. This game pushed boundaries with physics. Now we need GTA to push the open world. You think Crimson Desert pushed boundaries with physics? How? What's it doing that's not been in other games? A lot of the things they let you do with like picking up items and moving items and solving puzzles was done in Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom first. I don't think I've seen, I said this in my show open, I don't think I've seen a single thing. I don't think I've seen a single thing in Crimson Desert that's like actually original. Like, I don't think I've seen a single mechanic, a single boss fight, a single interchange that I haven't seen in other games. None of it's original at all. It gets better the more you play? Sure. I could smack myself in the face for 5 hours, and near the end I won't feel it anymore. It doesn't mean I want to do it. You need a Ubisoft launcher to play it. It looks really blurry. All right. Real quick, guys, real quick. We are getting ready to go to a podcast that I do once a week with Ginger Prime and some other fine gentlemen like Chrono and Scrag. Maximilian Pegasus with a $5 super chat. What kind of stream is this? You haven't looked at the Marathon Steam numbers yet. I did. You missed it. New member goal. What's the new member goal? What are you going to make me do? So you guys have like 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes to get the like count to 700. So very quickly help me with that. If you've been listening and lurking, and you have not hit the like button yet, hit it. I'll be putting a link in chat for both Twitch and YouTube if you guys want to join us for this podcast. I will also be redirecting you guys, on YouTube, to the podcast. You have a little bit of time to put a little bit more of a dent in the member goal. If you guys want to see my wife play Crimson Desert tomorrow night as the second part of the Saturday night stream, you can help us with that goal. Red Dead Redemption 2 physics completely demolished this game's physics. Oh, Lono slapped the crap out of himself for a few hours. Oh no, I won't be doing that as a member goal. Why is there so much visual noise, shimmering, texture flickering? Such a disappointment. I showed the game to my wife last night. I just was curious what she would think. And she said she felt like the game was hurting her eyes. She's like, it feels like it's too bright. And she says, it feels like the colors are all wrong. Like that they're almost like too saturated. And then when I would like turn the camera and stuff, she said that it was like, she said it felt like the game was like vibrating or shaking or something. I forget the word that she used. She said she felt like the game was actively hurting her eyes. I was like, yeah, it's bad. Will the pants be on or off? You hit the right stretch goal and, we'll see. Hurt your eyes too? Yeah. Let's see here. Did we get the 700 likes yet? There's so many people here. So many people here. We need 20 more likes. Quickly do it. Quick. Before we leave. Let me change the thumbnail to now before I forget. Okay. I had guys trying to blame my capture card. One guy said that my stream was blurry. He's like, nah, it's your stream. Even your stream when you're on camera is blurry. I'm like, you either need glasses or clean your screen or something. What's my favorite game? I have a lot of favorite games. You can go all the way back to like the original Legend of Zelda and Link to the Past and then Super Metroid and then like GoldenEye was pivotal. But then like Quake 2 and Quake 3 were pivotal for me. So was Call of Duty and Unreal Tournament. Games from now that I really like are like Hellblade 1, Returnal, Ghost of Tsushima, Sekiro. This guy is still farming YouTube drama. I'm not farming anything other than your stupidity for interaction. Like, what are you talking about? Just take the ban. Probably had the video set to 480. Dudes are straight up mad that, like, creators can say things and doesn't agree with them. It's so weird. All right, I'm going to spam a link in chat, y'all. That is where we are headed. Same for you, Twitch. If you guys don't come to the podcast, I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be hanging out with Madam, and she'll be reacting to gaming news. You will have 1 hour tomorrow to hit stretch. All right? You'll have 1 hour to hit stretch to make Madam play Crimson Desert. So, hit the link in chat, and I'll redirect you guys on YouTube. I can't redirect you guys on Twitch, so hit the link in chat. All right? I'll see you guys over there for the podcast.